All right, and welcome back to Isfjell, as we've got the whole gang back together again this week with no guests, uh, but half of them are stuck down a murder hole, which is always a fun way to start things. Before we get going, well, uh, any announcements other than the usual? No. If you stick around after the show over on Mindari's channel, there is Party Foul. On Mondays, there is Garden of Eden on Concentration Check with lovely Bova here. And on Tuesdays, there is a lovely, happy show of rainbows and unicorns and pustules called Black Death, which is a World of Darkness game with Tam here attempting to kill people. I think is that right?
That
I
pretty
wouldn't
much,
use the word attempting.
That's true. We've had actual death and dismemberment.
Yes, we have.
I need to up my game.
Oh.
So, last week on Isfjell, rather a lot of things happened. Our adventurers arrived at the village of Oak Bridge Crossing in the Hexog Forest, which was Adair's hometown. And on arriving, they met a rather strange individual, a Furbolg druid by the name of Ulost Ullman. This fungus-covered Furbolg who had been sent with a message from Adair's mentor, Herion. Possibly. Maybe. Details were unclear of many things. But before they had a chance to follow up on the message, it was a chance for Adair to catch up with some family. In this case, his mother. Which, to the surprise of the rest of the party, his mother was introduced as an ancient oak tree, standing on the banks of the lake, making the name Treeborn rather a literal one. But with the help of Ulost, Adair was able to communicate with his mother and learn a little bit more about his past and how he came to be found in that tree. But whilst Adair and Ulost were communicating with the plants, the rest of the party came across a group of local children who had been spying on them, and these children talked a little about an elven archaeological expedition that had been going on in the ruins near the village. The ruins from which now strange sounds have been coming. And Ulost and the party headed along the shores of the lake to these ruins, leaving the little girl in the red cloak to go to her grandmother's house. Aldis remained on the boat to make sure that the Ice Maiden Olwyn and Kressara's sister Amalia didn't murder each other. Whether she's been successful, we'll find out soon. You'll come back just to find this blazing ruin of a boat. Well, the rest of the party headed inland. They found the campsite where the elves had been based. Rooted around, found some scraps of books and pages from a diary. Kressara made a rat, and her rat made friends with some other rats, and then she decided to follow the rats. And then the rats started talking to her, and then the rats tried to eat her. Like they do. But surrounded by this swarm of telepathic murderous rats, Kressara and the others managed to battle them off, playing Magical Splat the Rat, and then decided to venture down into the ruins to see what was behind these strange rats and whether there was something else going on here. They descended down this well shaft into the dark tunnels beneath. And it was there, after a small amount of searching, that they found that there was some sort of vermin dwelling in these tunnels. Not rats this time, but something much more fearsome. Small brains with little legs. And Torvald very quickly turned several of them into brain mush, which now coats one of the tunnel walls. But that was not the end of it. Being attacked by more of these brains, there was what appeared to be a young half-elven man who was running for his life through the tunnels. The party saved him from the brains, but soon became suspicious of him, because I really need to put some more innocent NPCs in games, because at this point, everyone's convinced that everyone they meet is a disguised Illithid out to get them.
To be fair, it was a mind
It
flayer.
was a disguised Illithid out to get them, yes. But next time it might not be. And then you'll have killed a child or something. But
We're
yes.
all adopted.
Yes. So, you exposed the Illithid and got into a fight with it. A fight that did not exactly go to plan. As with one terrifying scream, Bryn, or so-called Bryn, put, I think it was 3 members of the party out of commission, leaving Torvald and Ulost to battle the Illithid, whilst the Kressara, Actaea, and Eira failed a lot of intelligence saves. It was quite horrible to watch.
10 in
really.
a row each. I don't know how that happened.
I think it was only about 6, but
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Only.
it was
Still statistically almost impossible.
it was bad. It was really bad. Torvald somehow made his intelligence saving throw, and he and Ulyss charged into battle, but the Illithid slipped away and they found themselves fighting a mound of roots and undergrowth shambling up from the darkness. Meanwhile, Eira had a small run-in with one of the little brain creatures, but I'm sure everything's fine. And we begin down in the tunnels as Ulost has disappeared into the darkness, and Torvald is smashing this pile of knotted roots and fungal growth as Kressara and Actaea have come to consciousness. And in this scene picks up at that moment as Torvald finishes smashing this smeared bloody mass of vines.
Kressara actually finished it off.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. They are definitely nothing like each other, and I really should make better notes. As Kressara smashes the pile of vines.
Well, if Kressara moved her token to the right place, it might have triggered your memory, but
That too. Hey.
Yo, why are we fighting?
Just blame the barbarian.
Everything's fine.
Well, that's okay, because I didn't move my token to where we left off either, so
Yeah.
we're just also
I don't
upset.
want to make you angry. She's already threatens to fly to the UK like every other week to murder me.
Yes, and the last thing, I forgot my character's name. Adair ran around the corner, saw the two of them, and yelled at them, "Why are you killing the old man?" So that's where we cut. So.
Well, it's nice of you to join us.
Leave us to take care of everything without you.
This wasn't you lost, by the way. It was some crazy plant monster.
Was.
I had it handled. I didn't need your help.
Well, you got it.
What were you doing over there anyway? While we were fighting?
Drinking. Okay, fine. I might have been unconscious. We don't need to get into the specifics. The brains. Ooh.
And what about you, Adair? What were you doing?
We were unable to move.
Well, I suppose it went well.
I suppose. Adair's going to take a look over at Eira, who I assume Torvald can't see yet. She's still around the corner.
Still around the corner, yeah.
I'm going to ask to do either a med or an insight check, because something strikes me as odd about Eira, the way she said earlier we talked about that. So
Did that before last week, and you told me that something was off about Eira. Maybe just after effects of what happened with Bryn. It was hard to put a pin in it, but there was something off about her behavior. But exactly what it is, well,
yeah.
She has just healed you.
Yeah. So, but I don't think she looks healthy. I think she, and I don't mean mentally, I mean physically. That's what I'm trying to insight is, does she need any healing herself?
I mean, just by looking at her, yeah, she doesn't look in the best of health.
Alright.
I don't think a medicine check's required. I mean, you could ask her, but yeah, just looking at her, she doesn't look that well.
She's rough. She looks rough.
Torvald, Eira doesn't look very healthy, and I'm going to take the potion that old man gave me that he said was a healing potion and offer it to her.
Thank you. I will take it. How does that potion work?
So it's this sort of greyish, soupish looking drink, I think, if I
He said it had like
Remember-
little speckles of
Little
things
specks
floating in
in
it.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, little speckles of it. Yeah, are you drinking it?
Yeah.
Alright. So as you sort of, it tastes vile.
Nice.
Is this someone had made up a blended mass of rotten mushrooms
Nice.
and turned it into a drink? But I'd like to just roll me 2d4 plus 2. So just a common healing potion. As you drink it down, you watch as sort of out of the skin on the back of your hand, this small fruiting fungal body sprouts upwards. Deep purple in colour, just this little small fungus sprouts out from your hand.
I got an 8, so 8 healing.
Quite
And then
a large fungus.
Whew. And then I will try to just sweep it off my hand if possible. Like I'll just kind of.
You can sort of, it takes you like to pull it out, but the wound behind just heals up as you pull the fungus out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then turn and walk forward to Torvald and Kressara.
Do you want to take a look at this and see if there's anything useful in it? I'll gesture towards the pile of plant stuff.
All right.
The coleslaw.
with a big metal trap, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, with a kind of warped and damaged sort of metal trap in it, it's still possibly usable actually. But looks like it's been heated up. It's a little bit singed.
Oh, I'll do a quick look at it and see if there's anything of use.
Poking around through the pile, it is this mass of sort of roots and vines. It looks singed and damaged. There's not really anything in it. Unless, I mean, what, are you looking for anything in particular?
Not anything in particular. No.
Okay. Yeah, just it's just a pile of plant matter.
What happened to the old man?
He ran off that way. He transformed into some... I don't know what it was, but... I don't want to say evil, but... It was kind of evil. And he ran off. And I'll point over towards the direction where he ran off, which is over here, in case you don't remember.
Yeah, so he ran off in sort of down that direction. You've not heard anything from him since.
He did help me fight this thing, though, so... And then something took over and he just ran. I think we should probably continue on, see what we can find.
All right, so you're planning on sort of heading down into further into the tunnels. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
All right. So as you're sort of heading down the tunnels further, you see this tunnel, same sloping, dank tunnel, sloping down ahead of you, until it joins up with another passage further down.
I'm gonna take a glance down here too, just to...
Okay, so looking down, you can see it's this sunken sort of pit. Almost, it goes down these rough, wide, circular steps, but where the roots have sort of broken their way through the stones and split them apart, it's crumbling down slightly. And the base, you can see that this puddle of water that's pulled down in the base.
I'll kind of point down in there and say, "This is where it came from. It crawled out of there." I'll just kind of continue on, I guess.
All right. So as you are continuing on, you is everyone following him, or some of you remaining elsewhere?
Ira's following at a distance.
And I'll just
Right.
following him.
take up the back there.
Eira, are you doing all right? What are you doing so far back?
Yeah, just taking up the back
Oh,
in case
I'd get
something
closer
else
if I were you.
shows up. Okay, she will. Only a little bit though.
Is she
All right.
okay?
I'm not really sure. She
No,
seems to be
more
acting
talkative.
a little strange.
I gave her the healing potion, so she should be fine. Maybe just needs a little more time.
Perhaps, yes. Would you slow down?
All right. So as you continue onwards, you watch the tunnel widens out into a larger chamber ahead of you, and you can see again the roots have broken their way through the walls, and you can see other smaller sort of chambers opening off. Everything is dark and damp, and it looks like these were perhaps originally well, I was going to say man-made, but man/dwarf/elf/halfling made, or gnomes, could have been gnomes, tunnels, but they have sort of crumbled and fallen apart with time, like the stones broken apart. But as you reach it to him, you could hear the occasional like scrabble of something moving whether it's rats or brains, you're not sure, but you can hear things scampering and scuttling in the darkness.
I don't like the sound of that. Everyone be ready to fight.
Definitely doesn't sound comforting.
Things skitter. So stepping through, you see, you can say, looking around, you can see there's smaller chambers opening off this central area where you came in, and they're very faded in the walls. You can make out old, faded carvings, very worn by time and water. But notable in the center of this far back wall is, if I'm on the right of this far back wall, you can see this large crumbling carving. And you can see at the center of it a figure with sort of arms spread wide and this long sort of mass of weaving tendrils and tentacles from its face reaching down. And around it, so you can see other figures, hands raised up towards it. This circle of other figures. It's very worn and it looks very old.
That's probably something we should be alarmed about.
I've never seen anything like that.
It's almost... They think it's godlike? They're all kneeling around it? Do I notice anything weird? Is there anything on it as I walk up a little bit closer to inspect it?
I mean, what do you mean by weird? What are you looking for here?
Are there any... I'm trying to think what she would... It's not really...
Make me an investigation check. And...
Pull up D&D Beyond again. I think my investigation...
That's not gonna be good, she said.
No. Sorry, I forgot to pull up D&D Beyond.
Alright, well, meanwhile, as you are investigating these carvings, are the other three of you up to anything in particular? As Kressara studies these carvings.
Torvald's just gonna kind of peer into these little rooms and just see if he sees anything.
Alright, so as you poke your head into this chamber here, you see up against the back wall a pile of sort of debris and dirt, and along with it this oozing black slime that seems to be down from the wall. And it's not very fast moving, but it's definitely moving.
There, why don't you take a look at this? You don't really like the look of it.
Okay, and meanwhile, Adair would have been listening for more of these skittering noises, having seen these other little things we fought.
Alright.
And also keeping an idea on Eira, who's like 10 miles behind us, apparently. So,
Alright, make me a perception check, Adair.
can I use passive perception?
No, not in this case.
That is going to be 9.
So you roll a nat 1?
No, I rolled a 5.
Oh.
You think you heard something? Perhaps just sort of thought of something landing somewhere, but it was hard to place where it was coming from. Also, for the benefit.
Nice.
That's more or less what the carvings depict, only better.
I rolled with my investigation. It was a 12.
Right, so, tracing your hand sort of over this carving, you can see there's almost holes in the stone where it almost looks like some things have been pulled out of it, as though the carving would have originally been perhaps decorated or ornamented with perhaps jewels or something inlaid into it, but they've been prized out and pulled out of the walls.
It looks like things are missing, so someone's been down here and possibly taken whatever this had in it. Oh, for the love of God, what is that?
Well, you might want to take a
It's
look.
not very
yourself.
fast. It's not very fast moving.
Well, I'll answer
Might have to
Torvald.
kill it.
I'll answer Torvald that, I'll be there in a moment.
Well, it's not moving very fast, but we're gonna have to fight it.
Do we have any fire? You need to start fire and just throw it in there with it so we don't have to actually touch the thing?
Well, meanwhile, on the mention of fire, as you are watching this oozing slime and wondering what to do, back over on the Cloud Maiden, and it's been probably at this point a couple of hours since the others left. Actually, probably less than that, probably only about an hour, because they just went for a walk in the woods, then disappeared down a hole. There is an air of tension on the Cloud Maiden as an argument is in the midst of going between Alwyn and Amalia. And you can hear, look, I don't care what kind of ice witch fey creature you are. She's my sister, and I know her better than you. And look, she is an idiot for adopting you. Look, you freeze things by touching them. That is a terrible idea. And if you harm a hair on her head, I will find you one way or another, and I will blow you to smithereens. They will not find a single smoldering snowflake. Really? You think you can kill me? You can't even find me.
Okay, let's just calm down. Take deep breaths. Killing people isn't always the answer. We have to control ourselves somehow. Please.
Look, I don't even know why I'm here. I've been dragged halfway across the world to. I don't need a babysitter. Like,
I
what's the point of being here?
understand. I understand. I don't know why Kressara decided to drag you along with us. I honestly think you would have been okay at my parents with Calder, or even in town where you normally were, or, I don't know. She's concerned because, technically you were kidnapped. You were taken.
Yes, I was kidnapped, but I unkidnapped myself. The elf, the machine, he offered me a job, Apparently, I'm quite good at fixing things. And he even said he'd let me have a go at flying the boat of theirs. But no, because I was like, you are in danger. I must swoop in and rescue you. She's always been like this. Every time.
Yes.
Every
I've
time
noticed.
anything dangerous happens, she goes into big sister mode, and then it's, no, we're leaving. We're getting on a boat and we're going to Isfjell. Like, what the hell is Isfjell? Like,
I honestly don't know, and maybe you need to talk to her when she comes back to the boat. Hopefully, It won't be much longer.
Maybe we should go look for them.
Actually, Aldis looks at Ulwyn. Do you want to go look for them as well?
Well, I'm sure I could probably definitely do a better job at looking for them than Amalia. But we probably shouldn't leave this boat on its own. Someone might steal it.
I am going to look at Sindri. Sindri, are you able to keep an eye on this boat while
I can look after the boat.
Hold on a second. I'm going to go over to the side of the boat, close to the water, and see if there's any fish. I'm gonna try to catch a fish real quick.
Make me a survival check. I mean, the DC is hard for just trying to catch a fish.
All right.
I walk up to the water and try to catch a fish.
That's a 7.
There are fish in there. And after a few moments, you've got a very wet arm and no fish.
In Soviet Isfjell, fish catch you!
We're not in Isfjell anymore, technically. Should we rename the show Out of Isfjell?
I use my prestidigitation to dry my arm, and I'm gonna say, I'll catch you a fish after we get back.
Make it a big one.
If I can't catch a big one, I'll catch you more than one.
Fine. Just make sure the frost witch doesn't do anything. I don't trust that one. She reminds me of someone I used to know.
Out loud, I'm going to say, okay. And inside my head, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm starting to not. I really regret suggesting her come with us. That part's not out loud.
Yeah.
We're not even there, but we're down. While we're down there, we just get this like...
All of a sudden, we just go.
All right.
Olwyn wraps her dragon skin cloak a little tighter around her, and says, "Right. Yeah.
I will help them get off the boat."
Amalia sort of holds out and said, "Lead the way, and warn me if there's any roots."
I will walk next to you, so
Thank
that
you.
You'll have plenty of warning.
And if I need to blow anything up, just give me a direction, and I'm sure I can find it.
I will definitely try. If there's any blowing up happening, then I'm probably going to be doing that as well.
I'm bored. I've been stuck on a boat for how long? It is unbelievably boring being stuck on that boat of yours, you know?
Yeah, sometimes.
How do you cope with it?
Well, I'm sleeping, or I have my weaving kit in my bag.
I mean, I've made like 3 fishing nets, but there's no fish in the sky.
No, but we land in the water, and I will probably use one of those fishing nets when we get back.
I suppose you could catch birds with them.
Yes, but then they would fall. So we would have to have some sort of tether to the boat.
Well, I mean, maybe it's something we could work on. I mean, I'm not sure how useful it is to catch a load of birds, but we can work on it.
Something will work. But yeah, anyway, let's go. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Let's go see what my idiot sister's got herself into this time.
I'll help Amalia off the boat.
All right, so Amalia, Olwyn, and Aldis head off up the path into the forest. Yeah, this is how she talks about you when you're not listening, Kressara. It's no respect.
Oh, somebody is gonna get just a pow butt whooping over the knee.
You don't know.
You don't know.
No. but-
Meanwhile, down in the tunnels, the very slow-moving black slime is slithering closer. It, like, when I say slow-moving, this thing is sort of that sort of pace. It's not going to win any foot races anytime soon.
So would I have been able to make it over there by them by now?
Oh, definitely. As I said, it is slow.
Torvald, I don't see a thing. I would have to light another torch. I'm afraid old man took off with mine.
Oh god, I forgot a day I was in complete darkness. And Ira as well. Have neither of you both been just walking around in the dark?
Mm-hmm. Following the footsteps. Yeah.
I have my goggles.
Oh yes, yeah, you have goggles.
I'm just the unfortunate one. Yes.
Torvald's gonna take out his
And Kressara.
Yeah, Kressara can see.
his fire starter and light the torch for you.
I am capable of lighting a torch, Torvald, but thank you. Last time you told me to warn you because it hurt your eyes.
I figured it'd be easier since you can't see.
What the hell is that? Looking down there and seeing this black. Oh. Can't you kill it with lightning or something, Torvald?
Well, I can certainly try. Torvald's gonna call down a bolt from the sky and told dead on it.
All right. First of all, I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw for the gloop. The gloop has unsurprisingly failed its wisdom saving throw. It's gloop.
I am guessing it is currently undamaged.
Yeah, it's fine. It's gloop. It's happy down here. This is where it lives.
Ooh, wow. So I rolled a 15 on 2d8. It's pretty spicy.
Wow.
15 necrotic damage.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna.
as the gloop. Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm gonna call you as my pinch roller today, then, because you're doing good.
It's my metal dice. So
That's
get a look.
as the gloop rolls 15 necrotic damage, you. Well, and it starts to move forward a little bit faster. And at this point, I need you to roll initiative. All of those of you who wish to get involved in the gloop situation.
Ooh, 18.
Okay, an 18 for Torvald,
17.
Well,
17 for Adair,
12.
12 for Kressara. Ira, are you staying out of this one?
Yeah, she'll get in if she needs to, but for the most part, she's just staying in the doorway and the other way.
So it starts to slip its way towards you, but you still have chance to. Well, Torvald, you first have a chance to do something else because this is not a fast. This is not a fast pile of slime.
How injured did it appear by the bolts? That
Not very, no.
not very injured.
No,
As in
it looks pretty
wasn't
much
as
fine.
effective as it should have been, or
As in, like, a little bit of it looks singed, but it mostly just looks, it mostly looks fine. Mostly, it doesn't look like it's done very much harm to it.
okay, that's not good. All right.
Looks a bit upset now.
Torvald's gonna move away as much as possible, and I'll try again.
Okay.
Call down a couple of bolts.
That is a success.
Oh.
It rolled a 20. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll succeed. My wisdom's not that high.
Nobody's wisdom is that high.
Challenge
You
accepted.
rolled a natural 20.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You've still got
I
your
guess-
action though, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you
well,
still get your
that's-
bonus action. That was the
I have
action.
my bonus action, but
Mhm.
no.
It's not perhaps that serious.
Yeah, I don't know like how hard we want to go on this. So
It just lives here.
I mean, we could always run. So Torvald's just gonna like.
Moving a bit faster now.
Torvald's gonna like. That's fine. Like my turn's done. I'm gonna move a little further away, I guess.
Kressara! No, actually, first Adair. The slime is definitely flowing a little faster towards you than it was before Torvald
Actually,
brought the wrath of the gods down on it.
I'm gonna peek in here too, as I'm over here, just to make sure there's not something.
It seems to be make me a perception check.
Jeez, that's gonna be like a 27 or something.
You can see some rat droppings and some like little
I can
tiny
see
paw
rat
prints.
droppings from
You
here.
can see rat droppings with your eagle eyes and like some paw prints on the floor and nothing's.
It depends on the size of the rats.
I guess.
Very
Yeah.
perceptive. You're very perceptive. It's a very, very definitely empty room.
Hey, speaking
Big
of
rats.
Pandari, she raided us.
You're raided.
Hey, hey, Faye. We're being raided. We're just down a hole. They're having a very dramatic fight against very slow-moving slime.
Yep.
Speaking of that, Adair, what would you like to do about the very slow-moving pile of slime?
Well, wait, it was very slow, so now it's just
Okay,
slow.
now
right?
it's just moderately slow. Yeah.
Moderately
yeah.
slow. How large is the opening to this area?
Probably about 4 feet wide.
And tall?
About 6 feet tall. 7 feet.
Torvald, is there any way you could
Not a
close?
natural thing.
Close enough. Torvald, is there any way to close this gap up and trap this thing?
You don't have anything that I can use.
You're a dwarf. You should be. No. He'll turn and look at Kressara and say, "I think we should run, or at least walk quickly."
A brisk walk would be good. Either that or torch the blasted thing, because it's gonna keep coming.
Well, if we had an Aldis here, we would probably do well with torching. I'm afraid that's not within my skill set.
I have a tinderbox. Perhaps we could try to just set it ablaze, and then run.
Well,
Alright. Are either of you taking any actions?
I will then point my hand at it and say flames and cast Druidcraft and attempt to start a fire on it.
Okay. How does Druidcraft work with setting fire to animate objects?
Let's see. The phrasing is, it's got several examples. You instantly light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire. So,
Alright, I'll say it is currently ever so slightly on fire. It's starting to singe a bit around the edges. I can't remember what fire damage is for things that... I'll give it a con save. Roll me 1d6. Let's say it doesn't seem to be burning very much, but it definitely is smouldering a little.
that is a 3.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely smouldering a little. It's now a slightly smouldering, slightly sort of necrotic pile of black gunk. Kressara, it is its way down the hall.
Oh,
Are you fighting or are you leaving?
It's disturbing. Oh, it's disturbing. Oh, I could. Oh, gross. I could at least try to. I could hit the walls with my maul and perhaps try to break some rock to cover up the opening, or we could just run. That is a very disturbing sight.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm gonna try to strike at the wall, at the edge to see if I can.
Make me an athletics check. I'll make this athletics. I'll let you use to.
That's an 11.
A few chunks of rock crumble off, but the entryway is definitely not closed. Are you and Adair staying put where you were?
As much movement as I'm allowed after our 15-minute discussion about the thing, I would move away.
Kressara will move away after.
Because this thing, moving a little faster now, has slithered out into the main chamber. So put your tokens to where they actually should be. Is this thing
about right?
Its way out of the chamber. As it slithers its way forward, you can see that it's like the moss and stuff, any mud on the ground is just being brought into this amorphous mass. It's sort of out of that entrance into the main chamber.
It's not like cube shaped, is it?
No, it's not cube shaped. It's an amorphous.
Just lump of gross.
It's a lump of yeah. Meanwhile, up in the forest,
Meanwhile, in the forest.
Amalia, Aldis, and Olwen continue up the path. You've reached a clearing where the it looks like there used to be a campsite here. There's some footprints and marks on the ground, but you don't see any sign of your companions here.
None at all. I am going to.
There is a path leading further on.
Well, I'm gonna look at the footprints and stuff and see which ones are the freshest and see where they go.
Alright, make me a survival check.
That's a 10?
There's definitely those set of tracks look fresh. It's leading off to the left into the forest.
Okay. Do they look like anybody's footprints I know?
They look like a pair of booted footprints.
Okay.
Hard to be sure with a 10. But they lead off into the forest, sort of in this sort of meandering looking path, as though someone's like scrambled their way through the undergrowth.
Oh, that's gotta be
Only
Kressara.
one set though.
I found a set of footprints. If you want to follow them, they go this way.
Great, this way. Lead me this way.
And I take Amalia by the hand.
Thank you.
This way.
I don't like the forest. I do not like the forest. There's things everywhere. I've stubbed my toe like 4 times on surprise trees.
We'll see if maybe we can, I don't know, get you back home after all of this. I'm sorry. I'll tell Kressara that this was a bad idea.
Well, I'm not against adventure. I'm just against this particular adventure, which seems to only go to sort of, rather rubbish places. Everyone, we've been attacked like wild animals everywhere we go. And I spent the rest of the time sleeping on an open-top boat.
Where's Olwen during this conversation?
Olwen is sort of staring off towards the edge of the clearing as if she's looking at something.
I glance at her when she says attacked by when Emalia says attacked by wild animals at every round. Yeah. Hold on. Olwyn, did you find anything?
Oh, no. Looks like whatever was here, your Kressara and the others must have taken it. We should perhaps get moving. There's a weird smell in the air.
I'm going to take a sniff to see if I can smell what she's smelling.
Oh, make me a perception check.
That was a 2.
Nope, just wet moss and earth.
Alright, well, look, these are the freshest footprints I found. Let's follow them. And I let Olwyn go first.
Olwyn sort of drops across, and you watch as like the earth and mud sort of freezes under her feet. It's actually quite useful for getting across muddy bits of ground. If you need to cross mud.
I'm still got a hold of Emalia's hand, and I will pull her along behind me.
Ow! Cap, not so fast.
Oh, sorry. I'll slow down like 2 steps back, slower.
Meanwhile, in the dramatic showdown of our heroes versus some gunk that fell off a wall.
Dungeons and slime gunk stuff.
Dungeons and gunk. So, here we are. As the gunks slid out into the chamber, Corvold, it's your turn again. How do you want to deal with the slime situation?
Well, I take it we're running away, so I'm gonna like peace out.
For those of you just tuning in, they faced down a mind flayer last week.
And this is what we run from.
They're running away from slime.
In our defense, anything that goes is not good. We have learned this.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to be very damaged.
No.
I guess I'll fire a shot at it as I'm leaving.
Make sure it's sufficiently angry at you.
Make sure.
Great. That'll give chase.
So it'll be another couple bolts that come down, total dead.
That is a 13.
Will fail. That's gonna be 14 necrotic.
Okay, this is doing a bit more damage. It definitely seems a bit more bothered now. It shies back a little into the darkness. It's like Adair, are you fighting, fleeing, or standing your ground?
I am going to look at Kressara and go. And then using Druidcraft, I am going to make the sound of rats scampering back behind this thing in its little hole where it was.
It makes a sloping. It doesn't have any eyes or face, so it's hard to really read its reaction to it. Kressara, what are you doing?
I'm just sort of staring at it, wondering what it's supposed to do with the rats. And then I get an idea. I take the hat off my head.
How many charges does that thing have?
3 per long rest.
Okay,
so I've used
got
1 today.
charge. You used 2 today.
Yes,
you made an original rat, and then you were covered in rats, and you made a rat to join the rats.
I did. So this is my last charge for the day. So I'm gonna go. Love Badger.
And this rat scurries out the hat, looks around.
I grab it and I'm gonna throw it. Sorry, rat. Into the cave behind the slum.
Trailing behind it, you hear this distressed squeaking noise. Are you throwing it gently or?
No, I want it behind the slime, so I
Yes.
want enough force behind it for it to go.
Oh, jeez.
No,
And the slime
no
starts
animals
drawing
were harmed
back.
in the making of this
Uh,
video.
Only
Except for the
magically summoned rats. And the slime starts back into this side cave.
Okay, and on that note, we're going to leave. I fed it. Good idea.
So we're
Dan.
out of initiative because essentially, unless you piss that thing off, it's got a rat to eat. It's fine for now.
Adair is a genius.
Are we
So-
still in initiative?
No, not unless you really want to be.
Okay.
Ah,
Seeing it back off, Torvald's gonna walk over and kind of check out this room over here as it's distracted.
yeah. From the side room, you can hear kind of noise. Quite distressing noise of a rat being eaten by a pile of slime. Stepping out into this room, you see, this chamber seems a little more complete than the others. You notice these sort of almost basins set into the wall that seem to have collected this stagnant water that's dripped down from the ceiling. And there'd be some kind of plinth or table set against the far wall. But like everything in here, it looks very old.
So there's a table, you said?
It's sort of like a stone plinth or table over there, and then there's a couple of strange basins sort of things that seem to be carved out of the walls themselves and have collected this stagnant water in them.
Alright, I guess I'll just kind of like look around and see if I see anything interesting, either at the stone thing or the basins.
I mean, poking around, this place looks ancient and crumbling. It does look like something's perhaps been moving around in here moderately recently. You can see sort of things like where old stones look like they've been wiped clear of some mud and gunk and moss. Whether by the archaeological expedition that came here or by somewhere else, you don't know. Alright. Whilst Torvald is poking his head through that chamber, and whilst the happy little slime is getting dinner, Kressara, Adair, and Eira, what are you up to?
I'm questioning Torvald's sanity of why the hell we aren't getting out of here.
Ira's still just kind of standing guard.
Torvald, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to see if there's anything interesting in here.
I'm just sort of back at the carving, and I'm just exploring further down the wall to see if there's anything else that we could use, any information we might get from it. And Jimmy.
It just looks like things have been torn out or taken out of this. Like, perhaps there's something that was inlaid that's gone now. It looks like it was recent. Like, the holes aren't full of moss and gunk. Like, these are fresh. Holes is not quite the right word, but sort of whatever was removed recently.
So how many of these settings are there that are empty now?
Probably about a dozen or so.
We know they're not infinity stones then.
What are infinity stones?
Just something I heard of. They're marvelous things.
I wonder if there's something you put into a glove. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I think we found gemstones on the mind flare.
You found a box with some gemstones in the house of the elicited and disguised as a storyteller, yes. There was a box, I think, under a floorboard in the bedroom that you found some stones in, yeah. That was about a month ago in-game, and longer out of game.
How are the settings arranged again? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a picture of where these holes are.
They're just sort of set around in it's hard to tell because the carving is very sort of faded and broken. So some of what was the outer bits of it appear to have be sort of broken away, but they look to be sort of two of them perhaps made up the eyes of it, but other ones were almost in a random scattering across it. So let's say green dots, yeah, make up. But yeah, it seems random, really, just to look at. Like, it doesn't seem to make any clear pattern that you can see.
These do seem to have been removed recently. Oh God.
Torvald's gonna move out of the chamber. Hearing this.
The hat is out of charges. I don't have anything else to feed it with. Perhaps if we're going to leave, we should...
Maybe it will eat the hat.
Do it. Not my hat. I paid good money for this. It's been very useful.
Torvald will fire another bolt, I guess, at it. It's trying to come out of
It fails its save and sort of shies back a little into its hole.
12. Or 11, sorry. 11.
Yeah, it shies back a little into its hole. It's still perfectly alive. It's quite a long way off dead.
What did you find with this here?
What I can tell is that there was something in this carving and it's been recently removed. By looking, there's not a lot of moss or debris in these little crevices or holes, but so someone's been here recently. Aside from that, nothing else.
I think I still have the gemstones, right? From the thing?
You have some gemstones, yes.
Okay, from the box.
What
Does
I
it
mean,
look like they fit? Like, is it the same size, or?
I mean, if you wedge them, some of them would. Most of the ones you have look. I mean, I think you swapped some of them out for a diamond, if I remember rightly, with the trader in Ulfborg.
Couldn't remember if we did that or if it was just the dragon parts.
It was just the
or maybe it's just a dragon
parts.
parts. Yeah, you still got the gems.
Aldis has a pearl.
They don't really look the same size as the holes. I mean, they'd fit in the holes, but I mean,
it doesn't look like they were there. Okay.
No.
Well, maybe we should start looking around somewhere. Maybe away from that thing.
Yeah, most definitely. That is.
Coming back out again.
Just one tendril that appears around the corner.
I'm gonna shoot another bolt now. Get back.
It doesn't seem particularly perturbed.
I'll cast Druidcraft and burst it into flames again then.
Small little. I mean, if you want to try and fight it, I can roll initiative. But it's essentially, it's quite happy in its hole for now. It's just curiously sort of.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it in there.
Out. Yeah. So, what's your plan here? Are you just sitting around here waiting for something to come and eat you, or are you exploring the rest of the ruins, or?
Torvald's gonna start leaving this area and go check out a different part.
All right. Which way are you headed? Are you headed back to sort of the central area? Where are you
Yes,
going?
just like south.
All right. As you head back down the corridor towards the central chamber, you notice your coil of rope lying on the floor. The rope that you used to climb down here is just lying coiled up on the floor of the chamber,
Well, that's not good.
being sawn off.
Looks like someone cut a rope.
What?
How,
Torvald will
how
kinda
high
pick it
up is the hole?
I believe, if I remember from my notes correctly, last week. One sec. It was about 50 feet down.
50.
50 feet.
Let's see.
You can see the daylight shining down from above before, and as you reach sort of back to this central portion, you hear skittering off in the darkness, and a couple of splashes from down one of the passageways. Sounds like something small splashing into water.
And we can't tell which way it came from.
It sounds like it's coming from sort of from down the passage past Eira. Yeah, so your rope's set coiled on the floor.
Torvald will pick it up and kind of put it in his bag.
Something scraffles and skitters again in the darkness.
Everyone get together. I don't like the sound of that.
I can levitate. With the rope and tie it.
Well, we should probably look around a little bit more.
Meanwhile, I'll let you make the decision between yourselves as to what you're doing. Meanwhile, up in the forest, it's taken some time, Aldis, making your way through this wood. This does not seem the most sensible path to get anywhere. Whoever went this way seems to have just kind of been scrambling around through wood for some reason. But eventually, the three of you make it out to this central clearing. And you see a set of ruins in the center of this clearing. But most notably, what you see is a large mound of half-decayed rat corpses with fungi sprouting out of them. And I'm talking like a mound of dead rats with these fungal growths growing from this decayed mound.
Amalia, be careful. There's a mound of rats and
Of course there is.
fungus
Of course.
over on your right. So just be careful.
Don't tread in the dead rat mound. Yeah, okay. Luckily, I've got a spell to clean dead rats off me, but...
Alright, why don't you wait here while I go look around, and I'm going to look around. Where's Olwen?
Okay. Olwen is peering down what looks to be a well. There's something down here.
Oh, is
I think I hear... I can hear voices.
Okay. I am going to come up next to her and move like a couple steps to one side of her so that I'm not, right next to her and possibly freezing.
At the top of this wall, you can see sort of two ends of rope that seem to have been tied to it and then sawn off.
Okay. Do they look, and either of them look fresh rope or old rope?
Both look recent.
Okay.
One's slightly damp as though it's been rained on, but the other is. But both look pretty recent, fresh stumps of rope.
I am going to take a I'm gonna look around at my feet and take a pretty good sized pebble, and drop it down.
Oh, come on. So I want you to roll me a d4, Aldis, please.
It's like, does she need to roll initiative before she does this?
No, you have to roll me a
That
d4.
would be a 4.
Adair, as you're sort of passing through, following down the chamber, a rock hits you on the head.
From 50 feet, so that is how much damage?
No, like it's not a. I mean, how are we talking? What kind of rock did you pick here, Aldis? Are we talking like a small pebble or like a brick?
Maybe about the size of an eyeball.
You'll put somebody's eye out.
You know, since you mentioned it, that's 3 points of damage, Adair.
Yeah, of
As a
course.
rock hits you on the head from above. So, it's not too bad, but yeah.
I'm gonna shout down from the top. Hello, Kressara, are you down there?
And I'm going to reply back, no, but if you drop that rock, Aldis.
Are you here to rescue us?
There's cut-off rope up here.
We noticed.
There's cut off rope down here too.
Okay, do you guys want me to stay up here? Because it seems that it's been cut from someone up here.
Oh, why don't you jump down?
Or
I'm
over in the
gonna
mall.
pick up another rock and see if I can aim Torvald.
I mean, 50 feet down this hole, I say, bink, he's got a helmet on.
Or is Malia and Olwen with you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Are all three of you all right?
I'm
Yes.
fine. We good.
Good.
Sindri's on. Wait, am I outside of my range for Sindri?
Yes.
Sindri's on the boat. We shouldn't take too long.
Well, let's do it.
So,
I
do
mean,
you guys want me to come down there, or do you want me to lower a rope so you guys can come up?
Why don't you come down and join us? And then we can use that rope to climb back up.
What if it gets cut again, Torvald?
We'll have the others stay up there and guard it.
You're going to
Perhaps
trust Olwen with our exit.
Can I hear that?
make
is
me
he
a
whispering
perception
that?
check. Go on, make me a perception check.
Is he whispering that, or is he?
I am
saying
not.
that loud enough
I
to
am
echo
not
up?
whispering. Normal voice.
Okay, he said
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah.
That's a 5.
Yeah, no, you don't hear that.
Does Olwen hear it?
You don't know. Look, I can keep an eye on your rope. I'll hear if anyone comes up and tries to cut it. And if Olwen does anything shifty, I'll throw her down the well. How's that?
You two stop fighting, please.
No.
Oh, Malia.
And if Kressara carries on being annoying, I will cut the rope again and leave you down a well.
But
And I'll throw it up the
again.
window.
So you cut it the first time.
no, we just got here.
You little brat.
Wait, okay.
You're lucky you're my sister.
Yes, I'm actually an evil mind-eating monster who's been trying to kill you all this time. This is a very long con I've been running.
Clearly, I'm going.
Too
The
soon.
real Amalia died 13 years ago.
You are such a brat when you're grumpy.
She's bored.
Maybe she's telling the
Ah!
truth.
She's on a ship that flies! And I'm sort of yelling this up. How is she bored?
She can't say anything. You know, she told me she made 3 nets.
That's incredibly impressive. Those are hard work. Good job, Amalia.
Something skitters in the darkness down the hall.
Oh god. So what's the plan? Torvald, Adair, Eira?
Well, first we're gonna take care of these monsters down here. I hear them skittering around and I don't like it.
A little firepower from above would be nice.
Wait, you need me to shoot some fire right now?
Not right this second.
We need you to climb down here and help us.
Adair moves back up the cave a little bit.
Since the 3 of you are magic, couldn't you form some sort of stairs? Have Olwen make stairs and the 2 of you use your magic to make it not melt?
I don't have that power.
I don't know a stairs spell.
Well,
You don't know the
That's
stairs
not how
stuff?
magic works. You can't just like.
I don't know, it's not magic. I swing a hammer.
The only magic thing I can make, it has to fit in my hand.
No, that rules me out.
Adair begins looking for those things that eat your brain. He's had about enough.
Torvald's gonna
I'm gonna pull
down the far end of the corridor, going, "Come on, you know you want to Pull yourself out of the misery."
Do you have any...
I'm gonna pull out a rope from my bag and tie it off next to the one that I think was theirs, and Amalia, I'm tying it off here. Come.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You're like 5 feet away. I can.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Please don't fight or anything. Keep an eye out for us. We'll be back as soon as possible. And I put my feet over the edge of the well thing and start climbing down.
All right, make me an athletics check with advantage, please. The rope gives you advantage.
That's a 13.
Alright, you descend down into this darkened chamber at the base of what is possibly not actually a well, based on the lack of water. And there's some puddles down there, but doesn't ever look like it was ever really a proper well.
Torvald's kind of like looking down this corridor.
Just looking down it from the angle you are now, you can see down it. It bends down. You see some steps going downwards. You'd have to really go down there further to get a better look at what's going on down there.
All right, everyone, stay close.
I'm not there yet.
Eira, you want to
You're
lead the
probably
way?
down at the bottom on it.
What?
Would you lead the way down the corridor?
Sure. Ira will lead the way.
All right. So, Ira, you head downwards, down this corridor, and it leads down to this large, flooded chamber. And you can there's about probably about a good sort of feet, 1 foot, 2 foot, a good 2 foot of water on the floor of the chamber. It sort of descends down these steps. There's roots out of the walls coming down to sort of trail in the water, and in the center this raised platform rises out of the floor, and on it are these 4 well, to Torvald, to you they look to be almost like sarcophagi. these like person-sized stone troughs, and laid into the stonework around them, you can see this network of sort of inlaid lines of copper, sort of inlaid into the stones around these troughs, interrupted every now and again by these small circular metal discs embedded into the ground. All of it carved over. Well, it looks like there's some kind of carving on it, but as sort of Eira sort of swish, swish, swish through the dark water, you watch the ripples spreading out, and you hear something moving, perhaps under the water. But whatever it is doesn't seem to be making any aggressive moves. Yeah. So as Eira, as you reach this central platform, you see these troughs and this inlay, these copper inlaid lines trailing between them.
She'll trace them with her finger and see if she can try to ascertain anything about them.
Oh, sorry. Wrong person. Ignore that message.
Haha.
So tracing your fingers over this, you can read this. And you can read these writings, essentially sort of magical channelings, instructions, you would be familiar with.
Okay. Yeah.
As you've been here before and you are familiar with
Yes.
what it does.
Okay.
Yeah, the symbols and the lines, sort of this crisscross angular carving. Torvald, he is standing up sort of at the top of these steps. She watches Eira sort of is tracing her finger across these inlaid copper lines.
Yeah, she just kind of nods knowingly after a little while, then turns back to Torvald.
Well, what did you find?
Just seems like carvings to me. Decorative, maybe.
Do I think she's lying?
I mean, do you have a reason to think she's lying? But
Well, yeah, because she seemed like she figured it
you
out.
can make
and then-
you can make me an insight check. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. And Eira, make me whichever check you. Well, you're not really telling the truth here, so that would be, I guess, a deception.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the word I'm after.
Look,
Not quite.
25.
You got what?
I got a 25.
Okay, well, that definitely beats my, oh wait, hold on. I forgot. I got an unnatural 20, so yes, you still beat me very well.
I mean, yeah, definitely reading her body language. It seemed like she looked like she knew what she was looking at there, and then, yeah, maybe not. Definitely being shifty.
Are you sure there's not more to it?
I get a strange sense that I've been here before, but I'm not from the area, so I'm not sure why.
You seemed pretty sure a minute ago.
Well, I'm sure that I've seen this before, but I'm not sure of why I've seen this before. Or when.
Well, then why'd you lie to me? You'd never lied to me before.
It wasn't intentionally lying. It seems decorative to me, and I've been here, but I just don't want to alarm you.
Well, you're doing the opposite, so...
Okay. I apologize.
All right. Whilst Eira and Torvald are examining this flooded chamber, what are the other three of you doing? Aldis, now having joined everyone down the lovely, delightful murder hole.
I kind of hang back a little bit, but then I start, moving forward. Being careful where, I step, because I don't know what's going on, what's been happening.
Yeah, you can, as you step forward, you pass these sort of inlaid patterns in the floor, these copper lines and circular patterns. You can see Torvald ahead in this flooded chamber.
Okay. I'm going to look closely at those circular patterns that are on the floor right there.
Okay.
And see what I can see.
Okay, so just try and make me an investigation check. But I mean, there's some stuff you'll definitely know, but
Okay, I rolled an 18 that time.
Okay, so
and plus 1, so 19.
Tracing your finger out, the first thing that strikes you is immediately you recognize this type of carvings, this type of language you've seen before. This is the same alphabet, the same sort of dotted connection of angular lines and dots that you saw on the this. If you remember the astral drive,
I remember.
The sphere device that you have still. This is the same writing, the same language that you're not familiar with, but it's definitely the same writing.
Okay, I'm not familiar with the writing, but it's the same.
And some of these are broken, some of these lines. It looks like perhaps originally this might have been sort of magically channeling thing. I mean, you're not hugely familiar with like formal schools of magic, but just you get the idea that it may have originally had some form of arcane purpose. But it's also very old looking.
All right. Is there anybody standing right next to me?
Kressara and Adair, what are you up to? You can be next to her if you want, or not.
Find my mute button. Kressara is probably just sort of trailing right about there. I'm just sort of looking around, see what I see, if I hear anything.
All right, and Adair?
I'm going to be right about here, keeping an eye down both of those tunnels and listening for any more of those scribbly little noises or slurping sounds.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess I'm going
passively listening then, right?
That's up to the DM to choose, but yeah.
What is your passive perception?
Passive perception is 19.
Okay, I'll let you know how things go.
Alright, so I'm going to say, not very loud, but, so this is the writing like that thing that we found? And I can do a ritual to find out what's going on here?
Is it safe?
I don't know. You guys have been down here longer than I have.
No, I meant to do the ritual to find out what it is.
It's the one that I did back when we found the other stuff.
I say go for it.
Okay, just all right. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start pulling out my stuff that I need for the identify ritual.
Okay, so you're going to spend the next 10 minutes casting Identify.
Yes.
Okay, so while Aldis is casting Identify, Adair is keeping watch. Kressara, Eira, and Torvald, what are you up to?
I'm just
hearing that she's going to do that. Torvald would kind of stand by to protect her while she's doing it.
I'm standing next to Aldis. I'll swing my maul down and just be on the lookout, so that way she can concentrate.
All right.
There's a passageway this way
Yes.
and this way as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, Ira, alone in the sunken chamber, you can hear there's definitely something moving in the water, some local wildlife that lives there.
Sure.
But it doesn't seem to be going near. It seems to be keeping its distance.
Mm.
So heading further down this tunnel, you see it opening out into another chamber. And
Cool.
you can see that there is a passage leads onwards, and there's more of these inlaid carvings in the floor. But also to the sort of the south, or to your left as you enter, you can see what it looks like there's been a cave in. Like the earth and rubble of what would be a tunnel that slopes further down has completely collapsed inwards. Except for one small gap. Sort of roughly, like you could squeeze through, you think, if you really tried. It looks like someone could crawl their way through down there. But it's dark, even with the goggles on. It disappears off into darkness down there, and it would be very tight squeeze.
Go for it.
Okay. So you start sort of slowly sort of
I know that. Did there
way.
seem to be any danger to the rest of the party whenever I was? They're just doing a ritual, right?
When you left, yeah, they were just doing a ritual. It was fine.
They seem fine. Okay. Yeah. So I'll keep going.
Okay, so essentially moving at half speed down this sort of wriggling sort of tunnel. I'm going to say make me an athletics or acrobatics, depending on whether you like, because this is a mixture of sort of dexterously wriggling or like strength to pull yourself through, whichever approach you want to go for. Just give me the total.
We'll go with athletics. And that's a natural 20, so 22.
Okay, you're making fairly good speed off disappearing down this this little tunnel.
Cool.
I'll get back to you in a minute.
Awesome.
After 10 minutes, you're still sort of... I mean, we're talking small here, like your shoulders are touching the earth, like it is essentially
Nice.
a burrow.
Perfect. For a badger. It's a badger home.
It's a badger hole. You get to the end, there's just a dare sat there going, really? So, after 10 minutes, Aldis, you finished casting Identify.
Mm-hmm.
As always with Identify on things that are, weird. This is essentially a very old and broken magical sort of ward intended to prevent scrying and other magical interferences, just teleportation into the area, but it is old and it is broken. And when you say old, like, I see from Identify you can get this, like, even though it looks fairly old, it doesn't look as ancient as you know it to be now. This is thousands of years old.
Older than when we were at the burial site up in the Bitter Ice.
Well, this is probably a couple of thousand years old. This is probably not far off a similar period, actually, as a couple of thousand years ago.
Okay. So this is a ward that prevented certain magics to being used, but it's damaged. Like, teleporting in and out of this area. I don't teleporting. So I don't know. But it's all damaged. It's broken.
You think it's still functioning?
No, I don't think so. I think it's broken.
Well, at least we know now. Does anyone know where Eira went? She was right in this room here.
No.
Ira's gone.
Torvald's gonna like take a step in and kind of look and.
As you take a step in, you see ripples moving across the water. I should have put that in the wrong place. Shh, didn't see that. That's in the wrong layer. What? No.
The big snake thing with the beak. No.
Shh, shh, that was in the wrong layer. I mean, you see ripples moving across the water.
Well, this isn't its lair.
Layer. But as you take a step into the water, yes, at that point you see the ripple of the movement of this great, large, worm-like creature come surging through the water. Sort of, the water's only about 2 feet deep. The scene is sort of rippling across the ground. Torvald, and I'll roll me initiative.
Okay.
And then depending on what you happen and what you... There's going to be a one-to-one between you two before we see what... Yeah. Ooh.
10.
Okay. This thing is going first. And it slithers its way through the water towards you. Sort of over the stones, right, and rears up, and you see its mouth opening up, these sort of 4 octopus-like suckered tentacles, but ending in claws. And it's going to lunge forwards at you, Torvald. And these... You hear these suckers onto your armor, missing any fleshy parts of you entirely, as it rolls quite badly. And then its tail lashes round towards you. But I think it misjudged your height. Because I don't think that with a 13 will hit you.
No, it will not.
All right.
Torvald's gonna yell, "Giant snake monster! I need some help here."
All right,
What?
Torvald, I'm going to give you 1 turn to act before that everyone else sort of clicks what's going on here.
All right.
Torvald.
So seeing as this
What?
thing's all up in my business now, Torvald's gonna reach down to his side, and he's going to pull the spirit out of his weapon. You see this blue electrical axe, and he's going to swing it right at the face of this thing, or whatever I can reach, I guess. As I cast
Okay.
the spiritual weapon. All right. Oh, jeez, that's a nat 1.
And that one will not hit.
I will not. And then I will also call down a couple of bolts of electricity, like right near its head. Is it wisdom saving throw for Toll the Dead?
Wisdom save is an 18.
That will pass.
And yeah, as you sort of call out to the others, everyone apart from Eira, who is down a tunnel, getting eaten by badgers, roll me initiative, please. That's a 4 for a dare. Kressara,
11.
what did you get? An 11 for Aldis. Kressara?
30-20.
30-20.
Mhm.
So, but whilst you hear this cry, the creature, 21, lashes out towards Torvald. Did a bit better that time. That is a 22 to hit.
A 22 will hit.
So, so you watch as these 4 great tentacle arms wrap around Torvald, and That is 11 points of slashing damage as these razor claw tentacles dig into you.
Okay, and then as that happens, electricity is going to surge through his armor and towards the tentacle things.
Oh yeah. Does it get a save?
Dex. 16.
That is not a save. Nope, that is a failure. That's a 10.
Alright, so 2d8.
And as it's drawn you in, it's going to snap at you with the beak in the center of the tentacles, but it does not succeed in
7
hitting.
damage is the
Okay.
lightning damage, by the way. Well, that's what you get for digging your claws into me.
Sort of rears back off you a little. Kressara, it's your turn.
Unmute. The doggies were trying to.
Aldis, you'll be next.
Let's see. So I'm going to go wee. And where is this nasty little critter?
This is a nasty, very large critter.
Okay. large critter, my bad.
A large, hideous worm creature.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Besides the fact that I want to go home, I am going to rage and reckless. And then
Okay.
smash it.
Let's see if you can hit the slithery bastard.
Just for a moment. Here's my pipe. Ooh. Advantage, so that's an 18.
That'll hit. Yeah, that'll hit.
And I have advantage on weapon attack. So then I'm going to attack with my maul. And so if I did that right, it should be 11.
Okay. The creature rears back a little more as you, it's definitely bruised now. Aldis,
What?
you're up. Torvald, you're next.
She gets
All
2
right.
attacks.
Oh,
Oh, I was
Kressara?
supposed to say I get 2 attacks.
Glad somebody remembers. I don't play martials.
This is
Why
the
not?
first
I played
martial I've ever
Monsters.
played. Okay, so how does that work? Do I just
again.
Roll.
just attack
Hit it again. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 damage for my second attack.
So you gotta-
Did it
you gotta
hit?
roll an attack.
What did it?
Do I still have to roll to attack
Yeah, you have
again?
to roll to
Yeah,
hit.
roll the attack, yeah.
Sorry.
This week on Jill Learns How to Play. Ooh. Oh, that's a 4.
Oh no.
No, that's not gonna hit.
Yeah, you're not used to this whole 2 swing thing. You've got to perfect it a little more.
The momentum of the maul threw you off balance a little bit.
Okay. He was like, "Oh."
I Aldis, you're up. Torvald, you're next.
Aldis is going to actually move over to the very furthest spot on the top shelf. Not shelf. Step. Right there. Like,
She's one of those top shelf warlocks.
and then I'm gonna use my Eldritch Blast.
Sounds like
on
a
the thing.
yeah. And you got 2 blasts.
Yes. One is a 17 and one is an 11. But it's got a +7 to hit. So one is a 24 and one is an 18.
+7. Damn. All right. Well, those
Only +7.
both hit.
All right.
+7 is respectable.
So 6 plus 4, that's 10 damage. And then 3 plus 4, that's 7 damage. So a total of 17 force damage.
Okay. The creature shies back a little more. It seems more bothered by this than it did by Kressara's maul.
Does it seem less damaged or less impacted than it was by my lightning damage? Or?
No, it seemed more bothered by you and Aldis than it did by Kressara's maul.
Gotcha.
But Torvald, it's your go.
All right. So Torvald is going to take the thing and swing it again. Take the lightning axe. Swing it. And oh my god, a 2. So that's gonna be a 10 to hit. So
That's a nope.
okay. And then Torvald's gonna take it and smash it against his shield, and Toll the Dead for DC 16 Jade Stone.
That is a 9.
Ah, yes.
So
I can do damage finally. With my D12s that ran away. There they are.
D12s? Yeah, he uses D12s. What are you, a barbarian?
Oh no, I'm a cleric. 18 necrotic damage.
Okay. The creature hisses a little. It definitely shies back a little. It looked like this attack of it was not quite going to plan. Adair. There's some kind of fight going on down there.
I will make my way down there with my movement, which will put me about right there.
You just see around the corner there seems to be some kind of fight going on.
You know, I'll ask Aldis what's going on, but my focus is still watching down the hallway as well.
Alright. Okay. The creature actually, at this point, it's going to disengage and go slithering off across the room, like slithers across the stones, seems to be backing away, looking a bit bruised and battered. But Kressara, it is your turn. You're muted.
Okay.
Right.
I keep it safe. Let's see here. Adam's distracting the dogs with eggs so they'll not bark.
Oof.
I have 1 javelin left. Yes. So, I am going to take my javelin and try to throw it at Snake Man.
I mean, it's just Snake. It's not a man. There's no man in this, but yes.
It's not
That
Trogdor.
is a creepy snake thing. It's like open face, like that's
From where it's hunched down on the other side of this platform, it's got a sort of half cover, so you'd have to kind of step up. If you stepped up onto the platform, you'd have a better shot at it.
Okay.
Slithered off over the far side.
Okay, so she will step out and take aim and.
That's in this platform.
Am I on the
This is-
platform?
In the center. That's the wall.
Oh, I'm on the wall, guys. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. I meant this sort of central raised stone area. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god, I feel like this is such a mistake, but
Might as well just take another step and hit it.
yeah, just walk over there. But
Throwing a javelin.
no, I'm gonna be from a safe distance. I'm gonna throw the javelin at it and go wham. 13 hit.
Oh. No.
Stupid snake. Okay, so yeah, lost my javelin.
Well, your javelin is just like on the other side of this platform in the water. Like, Basically went splish.
You're gonna be retrieving that.
Aldis. This creature slithered off down over the far side of the chamber, hunkered down behind this raised stone platform. Kressara's gone charging after it.
Can I still see it, and do I still have clear aim for it?
It's got half cover at the moment on the being down on the far side of this platform.
Okay, even though I'm up on the stairs?
Yes, it's still too close and down on the platform. Mental Pythagoras and angle. I'm trying to get
Alright, so I'm gonna try for Eldritch Blast again. Am I rolling at normal or?
Half cover. I think it's just an additional my side. Really should have checked that before I introduced the word cover into this equation.
I don't think I've ever actually used cover.
Cover, half cover. Yeah, it's just got a bonus on its AC.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna do my Eldritch Blast again. That is a 19 plus 7, and then a 9 plus 7. So 1 16 and 1 28.
One of them hits, one of them doesn't.
Alright.
I'll leave it up to you to guess which was which.
So that's 5 force damage on that one. The other one doesn't hit. So
This unhappy noise from behind here as it slithering noise. It does not sound happy, this creature.
no, and then I think, let me see something.
You've got your movement. Torvald, you're up next.
And I think I'm gonna move to there.
So you're just striding through this 2-foot deep water now. It's stagnant, dank water.
I'm standing on the roots right there.
Yeah, you had to stride through some water to get to the roots, but yeah, you're standing on the roots.
Torvald's gonna kind of point over and say, "Where are you going? Just because you hit me doesn't mean we can't be friends. I think it's time to bury the hatchet." And he's gonna grab the axe, and he's going to just throw it, huck the spiritual axe over there, and attack it.
Ha ha ha.
Ah, there we go. That's a 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right.
Roll some damage.
11 force damage.
Boom. The creature slithers back a bit more. It's definitely not happy.
And then Torvald's gonna, while this axe is flying through the air, call down 2 bolts next to its head for Toll the Dead.
Wisdom, that is a 13.
That will fail. Ooh, that's gonna be 19 necrotic damage.
It was a kind of crackling sound, this lightning sort of, I'd say that, Aldis, you get kind of, woo, as this lightning travels through the water. Ooh, it's not actually lightning damage, but
No, it's
this shock sort of spreads out through the water, and you hear this as this large creature drops down dead into the water.
Torvald yells, "Kill! Shot!"
And as it drops down, as it hits the ground, we go shortly over towards Eira. Just for a moment. As Eira, you wriggle out of the end of this cave-in, slithering down mud and rock into the tunnel on the far side. So it's taken you a good sort of 10 minutes or so to slither through this cave-in. It looks like someone's definitely crawled this way before.
Cool.
That was what opened up the tunnel. Out on the other side, you can see this wide tunnel heading off into the distance, and you can see inlaid into the walls these fine copper bands, these marked bands. giving instruction and direction. And the runes, the markings on these, indicate that this tunnel leads to Lema Dorai.
Ha! Yeah! Okay, cool.
And we will find out more about, horrible monsters lurking in the darkness, and what Ira is doing now this party has been split after the break.
Again.
Yes.
Alright, we are back, and they're not dead yet, so I need to try harder. So, the serpentine, tentacle-faced monster slumps down dead into the water, and Ira finishes crawling through a long, dark tunnel. So, Ira, having reached the end of this slithering, crawling tunnel, you can see that this is indeed the passage to Lamadorai. It also is probably a very long passage. You know, based on sort of general knowledge and maps, that it is a good 40, 50 miles to Lamadorai from here. That this is not a short jaunt. There may be shortcuts, maybe other methods, but this is a long road.
Would I know if Lamadorai is accessible through our boat?
It is. The city sprawls down to the shores of the lake. Or at least it did.
Okay. And then, do I have any reason to believe that this route that I've found would be the preferred route?
This way would be the way, a way to stay unnoticed, perhaps, and perhaps the way that you are familiar with. It's more of a secret passage, from Lamadorai to this place you're in now.
Okay,
But
cool.
it's one of many routes to get there. Perhaps not the fastest, perhaps not the safest.
Okay. Cool. I will head back then to try to regroup.
As you turn back, you hear a voice in the darkness. Further down the tunnel, it goes, "Hello?"
Ira freezes for a moment.
And the sound of footsteps coming up through the darkness and walking towards you. You see a face that seems familiar for a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
A man, an elven man, wrapped in a sort of tattered-looking dark blue cloak. A man you know by the name of Vanthil.
Venfil.
Vanthil. I'm going to regret that instantly naming. Looks at you and goes, "You're not one of them, are you?" Nah, no. You don't need to say anything. I recognize one of our own.
One of them?
The boisterous intruders.
Oh. No. Kind of. Partially.
Well, yes. Now. You've,
do you know an Olive?
her name?
Olivia?
Ah, yes. Yeah. Ah, well, it's been a while.
Yes.
Ah,
Ira
Well,
now, but
Ira.
yes, that's probably the best way to refer
Are
to
they
me.
still down there in the research station?
Yes.
He leans in and goes, so from my earlier encounter of them, they were a little more dangerous than I expected. Honestly, I expected to be able to deal with them without any trouble. Do you think they might be of use?
Yes, absolutely. I was hoping to find a way to get to Lima Durai, and this seems like a potential route, but we do have a boat that can fly. So perhaps
A flying boat? Where did you get one of those from? Do you know where they got it from?
I think they took it. We took it.
In my experience, flying boats usually mean trouble.
Yes.
Look.
So maybe we should go through this tunnel? Because I do want them to get to the city. Unharmed, preferably. They're strong, but that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yes. Use them. The plan continues as before.
Okay.
Use your boat or the tunnel. I will leave the choice up to you. Try not to raise their suspicions too much.
Yes, I'm trying, but Ira
Trying
is,
to leave them down
is
here
very strange.
Well, yes. Use what you can of her mannerisms. Try
yes.
and.
Yes, I'll see if I can. I think I can fly.
Levitation is that?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I can feel some
Very
power, but I'll need to play with it. So. I'm trying not to raise any suspicions, but the dwarf is he seems to care about me a lot.
Well, try and play on that. I'll find it hard to kill you without killing what's left of her, so try and play on that if you need to, and if it always goes to the worst, you could always kill them.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, take which route seems most sensible to you. I will seek to get to the city.
Okay.
Alone, I don't think I can get past whatever wards and remnants those elves left up.
Yes.
But you and them, you may do better at getting past the guards.
Yes.
But I'll meet you there.
I know Elvish. I remember Elvish strongly.
That's good. That might help.
So that may help. There's a lot of languages in my mind right now, so I'll see what I can do.
Yes, well. I will seek my roots there. You take your route there. I will try my best to break the wards myself, but if I can't, then I will need your help.
Yes,
and if something happens to me along the way,
I can be
then
stealthy, so.
Oh, yeah.
As you recall.
Yes. You're good at what you do, but
yes.
Be careful.
Of course.
I don't know quite who these people are.
I do enough, so. They've killed the dragon. I remember killing a dragon.
They have the gods behind them, and
yes,
that has caused problems in the past. Look.
Yes, well, I have Lady Luck behind me now, and combined with
Lady Luck,
some stealthing, I think that'll be great.
That name doesn't mean much to me. The gods ever changing their names, but
yes.
Look. Do this, and you will be rewarded. You will earn your place among us.
Yes, excellent.
And thus thus we will grow, and thus the collective will be strong.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely, yes. I will try to lead them there the best way possible. And we will see each other again soon. And do you know Thieves' Camp?
I know a few tricks and codes, yes.
Okay.
Messages.
Yes, so if runes seem to be an issue, just I don't think anyone in this group knows Thieves' Cant other than me, so we should be fine.
I don't think they speak and he traces his hand over the copper. Few others can understand our...
No. Yes, I told them it was decorative.
Well, yes, it is as well. But...
Yes. So, we'll see. White lies will end me well.
About these people, and we'll meet again.
Okay. I will see you soon.
And Venthil being one of the faces you would have known him as.
Yes.
A mage of many faces and tricks. As you catch a glimpse as he turns away of the face underneath Venthil's face. You see the tendrils and tentacles writhing as he turns away and slightly steps down the corridor, sort of drifting over the ground off into the darkness.
Okay, and then Ira will make her way back to the party.
Alright, so Eira starts crawling her way back up this tunnel. Meanwhile, the rest of you, you have killed a large worm snake. What would you like to do?
Well, since I'm standing right there, I'm gonna peek into the other room, and I don't need light to do it.
Peeking into the darkness, you see yet another of these strange chambers crumbling with crumbling stones and these basins set into the walls full of stagnant water. This place looks long abandoned, long crumbling. You can see these inlaid patterns weaving around on the floor, leading from basins, the walls, and down into the flooded chamber. There's a clear arcane purpose to this, but exactly what it is somewhat hard to determine. If you're interested, you could make me an Arcana check if you have that.
Let me double check. Just 1 second. Yes, most definite. That's a 6 total.
You can't really work out what this is supposed to be.
Hey guys, this room is empty and there's more things. And I'm gonna actually trace the I'm gonna walk into the room following the path that I see here.
You're walking up this inlaid copper.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't color copper on the map.
That's fine. I'm gonna follow it in and I'm gonna look around and do you guys think this might be more of what is in the first hall?
And as you step further into the room, you hear from the central basin in the room, and you see something bobbing in there. Something about this big, of greyish in colour, of lumpy surface.
I back up just a little bit. There's something in here.
And you see then a tiny pawed foot appear on the rim of the basin. And another one, and then as this little brain head up over the edge of the basin.
I'm gonna hit it with my
Find
Eldritch
its
Blast
token.
twice.
Okay, once I find a token for it, roll me that Eldritch Blast.
So an 8 plus 7, that's 15, and then a 13 plus 7, that's 20.
And
What was the first one?
8 plus 7, so 15.
15. Okay, I think both of those definitely should. Sorry. Me versus the alphabet. Fun game.
And hearing her say there's
ABC.
something in there, Torvald's gonna make his way over there and kind of like pull his weapon.
Both of those hit Ira. So, roll me the damage, and then we'll get to what Torvald does in that step.
Alright, so the first one was a 9 plus 4, so that's a 13. And then it's a 3 plus 4, so that's a 17. So that's 20 damage. Force
You hear this-
damage.
As a small brain explodes all over the rim of the basin. And Torvald, you come around the corner to see this splattering of brains.
Well, it looks like you have it under control.
What? That looks like a brain.
Aye. There were 3 before.
Well, why are brains walking around by themselves?
I'm not really sure, but we killed the others quickly, just like that. So we didn't find out.
Yeah, in fact, I think all the brains got killed before they had a chance to do anything.
Definitely.
Definitely.
For all we know.
Alright. There's this. Do you think this room is like what was out in the other hallway? Do you think this is more of that protection, or should I do, I don't know, another ritual?
Well, it's up to you. Do you think you can learn anything from it?
Maybe? I don't know. I can, but if there's more brains, you need to don't let them climb on me. That's nasty.
I can keep a lookout.
Okay. I'm gonna do another ritual of identify in this room.
Okay, so whilst Aldis spends 10 minutes casting that ritual, and Ira spends a good 10 minutes crawling back up the tunnel she crawled down. It's a bit wider now and a bit easier. Adair, Torvald, and Kressara, is there anything you want to be doing in that time?
Adair's going to walk into the room, look around, and go, "Has anyone seen Eira?"
I'm gonna grab my javelin and I don't think I've seen her.
Well, the last I saw her, she was in this room. So she didn't come down this way, so she must be over here. And I'll point kind of over to the stairs over here, which is the only other direction.
Who's holding the torch?
Adair. The only one who... Well, Kressara can't see in the dark either, I guess.
Mm-mm.
Well, Adair will move over to that other area, I guess, and start looking around to see if he can find any traces anywhere that's not covered in water.
Okay, so are you trying to track where Ira went?
Yeah.
Make me a survival check, please. You're trying to sort of follow the trail of where what do you get? Maybe she went through the wall. No. Since there's no sign of it.
I mean, even with my ads, it'll be an 8, but that's still pretty crappy. So.
You reckon she might have left the chamber and gone this way? Maybe, but it's hard to be clear. You can see one direction's caved in, and then the tunnel goes round the further. But there's no sign of Ira.
I will just stand there and go, I don't know that she went this way, and start looking around in the water to see if there's a body floating anywhere.
You hear, out of the corner of your ears, you just hear the sound of something crawling, something scrabbling, something creature crawling off in the dark, and it seems to be getting closer. Coming from the direction of this southernmost chamber. It's definitely crawling its way closer to you. Sounds quite large, definitely larger than a brain.
There's something moving over here. Sounds big. Very big. Large. Huge.
Enormous! Like a dragon.
Some sort of massive monster?
That would be my
And not
guess.
again.
From the direction of the cave in, you can hear now it's getting closer and closer.
I'll stay back and protect Aldis. You take a look down there.
And a few moments later, Eira appears at the end of the tunnel, having crawled back. I mean, you can see down the far end of the chamber. You can see Kressara and Adair possibly looking a bit like wary.
Like, how'd the ritual go?
Eira?
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I just figured I'd make myself useful while y'all were casting the rituals, so I found a tunnel of some sort.
Well, apparently they found some kind of a snake worm creature up here.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Did you take care of it successfully?
Well, it's dead, so I suppose you could say that.
Good. Yes. Okay.
Anything down there of interest?
It seems to be some kind of passageway. We could potentially follow it. But I wouldn't want to abandon our boat.
And if Torvald and them couldn't hear it, I'll relay it back to them so that we're all in sync.
Aldis, you pretty much finished the end of your ritual, and as you finish identifying these carvings, you understand that these have a slightly different purpose. These are part of some kind of process involved in channeling, redirecting, and storing thoughts, memories, a whole psyche. They're part of some form of ritual, intended to carry and transmit memory and thought. It's not some kind of anything you've ever sort of really come across before, but it seems that they're intended to sort of connect the various parts of this now crumbling chamber with each other and somehow carry thoughts through them. That's as far as you can get, really, even with identify.
Is it also damaged?
Yes. This whole place is ancient and falling apart. Kressara and Adele, as you were sort of poking around the flooded chamber, those central sort of sunken areas, one of them had looked a bit different to the rest. One of them, most of them were full of sort of dirt and mud and moss, but the one at the end was quite clean looking on the inside. Most of it had been covered until recently.
I'm going to go check that out again. Where was that? Or where is it?
This furthest one on the end here. I will give it a little doodle. There, if I can.
Yeah. And
There
it
it
looks different than the others.
It looks cleaner and tidier, almost as though it had been sort of covered and protected up until recently.
I'm gonna try to pick it up a little bit and inspect it closer.
I mean, it is this large, it's a massive like stone sarcophagus.
Okay, nope, I was not. That is not what I was thinking that was.
Yeah, no, it is the like big person-sized like stone sarcophagi.
Kressara's like, still, I want to pick it up.
I'm still gonna pick it up, but instead of the whole thing, I'm gonna like open the lid. I'm gonna open it.
It doesn't have a lid.
It's already open.
It's
So
open.
you can shove your
open.
face in it.
I'm
Just
gonna
lay
shove
down
my
in it.
face in
Nothing
it.
could go
When
wrong.
it open, this one, unlike the others that have got moss and rubble on the inside, this one is clean and tidy on the inside. It is open, and looking around, down in the water, off to one side, sunken down, you can see what looks this large, like sunken down to the bottom of this dank, mucky, stagnant water is what looks to be a large stone slab, perhaps a similar size to the sarcophagus itself.
I'm going to jump down and check that out.
Yeah, it looks to be a big. I mean, maybe an investigation check. For
16, 17, 18.
It looks the right size to fit on top of the sarcophagus itself, and carved into the top of it is this same language runes you've seen before. This mixture of lines and dots and sort of angular symbols, and yeah, sort of engraved in the top of this. But it doesn't look like any language you're familiar with. It does remind you of that you saw on the astral drive device, the like astrolabe that Aldis has.
I am going to lift it up out of the water and lean it against the wall.
Make me a strength check for that. Athletics, if you'd like. That'd be nice.
17, and then do you want strength or athletics?
I'll say strength. I mean, either way, you can lift this.
Yeah, I was about to say that's with my strength. That's a 19. I lift the crap out of this.
You just raise this big stone lid out of the water.
Aldis, come and look at this.
Okay. This is right after I've finished my,
Yeah, this is you as you finish this, and as well, we kind of ended with a weird retcon situation. As Aldis, as Eira has appeared at the other end of the tunnel and has been talking to Adair.
Okay, yeah.
Or it just goes, Hercules, Hercules.
I walk over to Kressara and take a look at what I'm able to see, and it looks exactly like.
It looks like the same language, yeah, but you don't understand that language.
Mm-hmm.
It's different symbols from this language, but what it means, you're not sure.
If you notice this behind us, it looks awful clean.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of dirt or moss in it like the others.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you guys want, I can do the ritual again.
That's up to you. I don't want you to tire yourself, but that does concern me a little bit.
Rituals I can do pretty much at will.
Yes,
as long
you
as
can.
I'm willing to.
You can spend another 10 minutes identifying this stone coffin, if you want.
Sure, I'll do that.
All right, you hear off in the distance. Are you guys okay down there?
We're
Hello?
still alive. We're still alive so far, but we got attacked by a giant snake.
It's starting to rain.
Well, you can come down here if you want. Or stay there and guard the rope.
There's a pause. What's it like down there?
Dark, wet, and full of monsters.
I'll come down.
Oh god, which one was it?
That was Amalia.
I mean, the dark part doesn't really matter to her, so
Yeah, she does. She's blind. She doesn't care.
she can see in the dark better than Adair.
I mean, she can't see in the dark, but you know,
Of course she can.
it's raining upstairs.
You never
It's not
seen
raining down the hole. And then you hear,
Daredevil?
shall I? I'll guard the rope for you.
Whatever you prefer, dear. Just don't let anybody come up and cut it, and then we can't get out. It suck.
All right. So, Adair and Eira, what's this? What are you two up to?
I'm just keeping an eye to see if Eira's coming back up this way. And generally listening for, you know, scrabbly little creatures that want to eat our brains or bodies or souls or whatever.
Ira's just gonna kind of start heading that way. And just... Hello. I think everything's fine. Should we go help the others?
Sure. I don't know that they need help at the moment. They're investigating something. It's not really my area.
Oh, well then I can go, there's another pathway this way I could go check out.
Maybe we should stay together at the moment.
Sure.
So, over the next 10 minutes, Aldis carries out another ritual. Amalia makes her way down the rope and sort of follows the sound of your voice and sort of the side of the corridor because it is. She just trails her finger along this inlaid copper that seems to be about hand high. It looks almost conveniently as though that was what it was designed for. She sort of follows it down this tunnel, treading cautiously. Sticks a toe in the water. I'll wait up here. I'm not staying up there with her Owen anymore. I can feel her watching me. It's really annoying.
Why do you two have to fight? She's merely curious.
She's an ice demon.
She's not a demon. The ice part I can't argue with. She has promised to be on her best behavior. I can see you doing that. There are the
That was it. No. Aldis, at the end of this ritual, it is a large stone sarcophagus.
And you've lost 10 minutes of your life.
That's it?
Yes. It is a large stone sarcophagus. Doesn't have anything in it.
What was?
Okay. So, this is just a circus. This is where dead people lay. Dead people. And do I see any of the copper pathways leading to the other room?
Which one is the other room?
The first room. This one. I'm gonna ping it. That one.
Hang on. To zoom out. Yeah, there's copper pathways leading from that room to the sarcophagi.
Okay, so what I've think I've figured out is that, and I'm going to gesture to the hallway behind Amalia, that started a protection around this space, and this is where they put a body. I don't know, alive, dead, I don't know. They put a body here, but I don't know, some sort of magic takes the memories into there. And I point to the room behind me. They take memories. That room collects the memories and thoughts of people or whatever and collects them.
Okay.
I don't know. But that's where we found a brain, so I'm not happy about this.
That sounds about right.
What do you
Do
mean
you
by
know
that?
something that we don't know?
How do you?
Well, just looking at the structure of the copper and everything, that sounds about right. Looks accurate.
I thought you said they were decorations.
Yeah. Decorations that carry your memories, apparently. Seems like it. That sounds right.
I don't think you're using the word decoration properly.
Functional yet formal. Yeah?
I mean, that's possible. I just wish I could read it. Because this is all words. This is language. If only I could get my hands on a language ritual or something. Maybe I could figure this out.
Is it important to figure out?
Yes. Sort of.
Well, I found a tunnel.
I don't want to be in here anymore.
Agreed.
It is concerning.
There's a tunnel that we could take that I think leads out. Or we could go out the other way and get back to the boat.
Yeah, let's get back at the boat.
Okay.
I left Sindri on the boat, but let's go back.
Okay.
I could certainly use a rest. I'm feeling a bit tired, to say the least.
He definitely use a rest himself.
Yeah. I'm when I walk past Amalia, I grab Amalia's hand and say, "Look, we're gonna go back up the
Yeah.
rope.
I heard you.
Come on."
Okay. Right, all right. We just got down the rope, now it's up the rope. I thought there were tunnels to explore. Sounded exciting.
Well, there are tunnels to explore, but I'm sure you heard what Aldis figured out.
Tunnels on my natural terrain. Natural terrain. None of this flying nonsense. You know, 2 walls. You know, narrow confines, easy to blow things up in.
I don't think you want to be blowing stuff up in a tunnel that you're in.
Yeah, we're
Doesn't
pretty
sound
far
fun.
down. We're pretty far down.
What's life without risk?
Well, then let's
Life.
go fly in the boat.
That's what it is.
Longer.
Aye.
Yeah. You guys are healers, right?
I am not.
Well,
I know a thing or two, but I don't think a collapsed tunnel I'd be able to help you with.
I
Not
mean,
much swinging room in caves.
Anyway, I get to the rope.
there is no rope.
Did it
Well,
the ground?
You bastard.
the rope is the rope's no longer dangling. The rope is now lying on the floor.
Alwyn?
Alwyn, did you cut the rope?
There's no response.
You would,
Alwyn? Alwyn!
Great, she's wandered off.
Doesn't typically wander off. She would have stayed. Olwen!
You know, she
I
was
can-
distracted while we were up there.
I can try to levitate out.
I give it a shot. And
Okay.
Torvald's gonna kind of go over this way, and he's gonna call for Adair. Adair, why don't you come help me? I need to do something real quick. I could use your help.
There, it's muted.
I hate it when that happens. Before Ira leaves, Adair would like to ask her if she saw any signs of the old man down there. I guess she's not going to answer. Fine.
Wait, were you asking me?
Yeah, Ira.
No, I was asking Ira.
I was thinking very hard about levitation. Saw any remnants of the old man?
Yes. Okay. Alright, so then I will go link up with Torvald for whatever it is he's attempting to do.
What are you
Torvald's
attempting to do?
You're gonna just try to salvage the trap from this thing, and get a moment to talk to Adair alone.
Boy time.
Hey, no
Right.
shaming here.
Ira, did you say you were levitating up?
Am I levitating?
Is that what you said you were doing?
Yes.
My question was to you.
Oh,
While she's doing that, I'm going to prepare my short bow and tie
Okay.
my arrow to the rope and see if she can't make it. I'll try to see if I can find a spot to anchor the arrow.
Okay. How high can you levitate, Ira?
so yes, that is what I was engrossed in. I can rise vertically up to 20 feet.
Okay.
But every turn, because this is, I guess, technically based on combat, I could go 20 feet higher.
Yeah.
So it'll take a while, but I could get to the top.
I mean,
I
it'll
would just
take
go
about
in 20
just over
feet
12
first.
seconds. You kind of
Yes.
rise up, and it's rather disconcerting. You're floating.
Yes, it's
And-
very uncomfortable.
As you float upwards, the cloak billowing around you. It just keeps billowing.
I love it. Actually, I probably would take that off if I'm noticing that that's an issue.
Yeah. Take off your billowing cloak. Ira, as you rise out the top of the well, we'll get to that in a moment. Adair and Torvald, what are you up to in your boy talk?
Boy time.
What's up there? Got any beer?
I think she's an 8 out of 10. You know. I think there's something wrong with Ira. What do you think? She's not acting right.
I was going to say, did you mean recently or overall? She is acting a little strange. And she was the first of us when Kressara and I believe her, were stunned. She was the first of us to wake up, so honestly, I don't know what could have happened. I couldn't exactly look around. She was in front of me. Suddenly.
Well,
And she's not...
she also lied to me, which seems strange. It's like she's keeping things from me.
Well, she hasn't exactly gone off and left the rest of us behind before. And she doesn't seem to be... She's talking more like you. She's not taking 5 minutes to say hello.
She's not spilling her guts like she usually does. It's troubling.
Very.
You don't like it one bit.
I don't either. I think we should keep a closer eye on her. I was trying to stay with her once she came back up. I'm really worried about what she was doing down in that area. I'm not sure I trust what she said, and I'm also very worried about the old man. You don't think she would have hurt him, do you?
I'm not sure. He just kind of ran away. It was very strange, though. I think it might be something evil, but I was taught something to prevent against things like that. Maybe I'll look into preparing it.
Is it
We
something
might run into something like that again, especially if we find the old man. I might be able to help him.
Okay. Is it something that would help checking out our new friends? And I'm thinking Olwen and maybe even Eira.
I'm not sure. It would only work on something evil. Eira's not evil.
Well,
Not that I know.
she never was, but... Also, I need to speak to you at some length at some point about this Thunderer. I have
We're
some...
finally ready to accept that he's real.
I'm ready to learn a little bit more about that history and the myths of your god.
I guess they don't call it mythology for nothing. You'll believe one day. The gods are real.
There's something.
Trust me, I was not always a man of God. But you can see the powers I have. I used to be a humble blacksmith. And now look what I can do.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not for nothing.
I've never called lightning from the skies, but nature has imbued me with some capabilities as well, you might have noticed.
There are many ways to get magics. Making pacts with creatures from the Feywild, for example.
Yeah. And I'm also, what do you think of the way Aldis has been behaving since she killed that man? At first she seemed a little reticent, but now she seems pretty ready to, use her full power against anything.
Well, she's using it against monsters. I think there's a difference. When you kill someone innocent, that has to do something to you.
And Adair's gonna rub the knot on his head and go, yeah, as long as she's not hitting anyone innocently.
I think she'll be alright. It takes a little bit to process. And I think she's just working through a few things. I'm definitely more concerned about Eira.
I wonder if we should avoid having her control the ship for a while until we're a little more sure.
That might be wise, as much as I don't like it. I don't like distrusting my friends. It feels unnatural.
I didn't support you up front about Olwen, and I definitely now believe you were correct about her. So I won't argue with you. At all. I wonder what the girls talk about while we're away.
Oh, probably their hair or something. That'd be my guess.
As we were doing this, I am trying to actually get that trap salvaged.
You're muted.
You do have the trap. I will double check how it worked. I've got it written down somewhere.
Is it broken?
No, it is functional.
Okay.
It's a bit singed. It was heated up, but it wasn't melted.
Okay. I mean, I would just cast mending to kind of fix it as we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool.
I can break it a bit if you like, if you want to show off your mending cantrip, but honestly, nice. Oh no, a bit fell off it.
If it's a little singed and stuff, it'll just Torvald will be like,
Well, you want to see some of Thunderer's powers? Here goes. Thunder, help me fix this, will ya?
and he's just gonna hold it, and you just see these just little sparks at first,
But then it just kind of like spider webs like out across the entire thing, and it kind of almost flashes white for a second, and then once I think it's like a minute is up, is when that flash of light happens, and then when it subsides, it's just fixed. There you go.
Nicely done.
Aye.
I'm not a real fan of traps, of course, but
Well, we're not going to use them on animals, are we?
I don't know. What do you have in mind?
Maybe we use them on one of them things.
Now that's an idea.
Aye.
Do we hear any more
You're
scrabbling of brains, by the way, while any of this is going on?
Not currently, no. But, Eira, as you rise up out of the well into the ruins above, a strange sight meets your eyes. In that your hazy memories, you don't recall it being snowy before, but frost coats the ground around the ruins. Icicles hang from the trees in the area. All the branches are bare. It looks like you're in the midst of winter. And
Okay.
there's no sign of anyone up here. But in this midst of winter, you can see 2 tracks of footprints across the snow away from the ruins. That head out down the steps of the ruins, and then abruptly they stop. And so whoever was walking there had just vanished and ceased to exist.
Everyone should come out of the cave now. And then I'll throw a rope down.
Throw one of the ropes down, and Aldis and Kressara as the ones nearest, and you see of the end of the rope that's been thrown down.
You should go up first. I'm able to, keep and watch out here. You can go first.
All right. Amalia, do you want to
Amalia
go?
can go.
Yeah,
after.
I'll go after Kressara. Goodbye, tunnels.
You can visit them again.
This is all for once.
I don't know if these ones are very good to visit.
I'll start
I'm not a-
climbing, but maybe others?
I don't know. That was a little creepy. A brain crawling by itself, no limbs.
I missed that. I'm sorry. I missed the creepy crawling brains. But I am, she sort of raises her fingers and wiggles them, quite capable.
Yes. Okay. Well, Adair, Torvald, the rope's set up again.
All right, we're coming. So Torvald will start kind of walking, and as they're walking, he'll just say, the gods are just very powerful beings. You know that powerful beings exist in this world, right?
And he'll put his hand on his forehead where the ice handprint was at one time.
That's faded by now.
That's faded, and go, yes, I've had my contact with a few.
Well, the gods are just more powerful than most.
Kressara, as you climb up the rope, make me an athletics check with advantage. Climbing up the rope is slightly harder than climbing down the rope, but... and Amalia is following up. Pardon, what was yours?
There's a 10?
A 10?
There's a 10.
You think you slip a couple of times and slither back down a bit. You only just managed to make your way to the top. As you
Told you I
pull
needed a rest.
yourself up into this frozen landscape. It's as though winter had come overnight.
Where's Owen?
everything is frosted and snow-covered. And yeah, there is no sign of Olwen.
I will jump up and start looking.
All right, you can see these two sets of footprints across the snow. One of them sort of heading out into the snow and then vanish. They stop abruptly in the middle of this open snow.
Does it look like there was a struggle? Does it look like one is being pulled? What do the footprints look
maybe
like?
a survival check to get some good tracking skills going on there.
I think I have a bandage or something.
Aldis, did you say you were following her up the rope?
I was going to follow Amalia up the rope.
Yeah, Amalia made it up the rope with no difficulty. Well, seemingly managing to roll better than a barbarian.
All right. So
As a sorcerer with a negative strength modifier.
What is it? With advantage or?
With advantage as a rope.
I rolled 2 18s.
Only one is needed, but yeah, you make it also much more easy than Kressara. Like, she made it look very difficult. You make it look even easier than Amalia. What did you get, Kressara?
17.
17. There's two sets of footsteps. One is definitely larger than the other. The smaller set of footprints, these sort of bare footprints, look to be, we recognize Amalia, not Amalia, Olwen. I'm mixing up my fire sorceress with my ice daughter. The smaller set of bare prints, which are Olwen's, you look at a couple of points as though like they were perhaps being sort of hauled along or sort of dragged a bit. Like, it's not like drag marks, but they're definitely a bit more scrabbled at the ground than the larger set of prints, which are booted and much more sort of solidly and steadily placed. In this crisp, very fresh looking snow. Like, there's about this much snow. But I mean, you've not been down, it's not been very long since Aldis disappeared. The sky above you is completely clear. There's no sign of clouds. There's this about 4 inches, I don't do inches either, 4 inches or so of freshly fallen snow on the ground and these two sets of footprints in it.
Yeah, I've only been in the tunnels for about 45 minutes or so.
Yeah. Well, at least half an hour because there were 3 rituals in there.
I think someone's taken Olwen. She said that there was someone hunting her. I think that Winter King got her. These footprints look like she was forced to go with them. She didn't just leave, and I'll glare at anybody who's standing behind me.
Yeah, the only people standing behind you at this point it's Aldis and Amalia who've made the top. Amalia sort of poking round at the snow. Yeah, seemingly. Okay.
I'm gonna shout down. I'm gonna shout down into the hole. There's a bunch of snow up here. You might want to come up quickly.
When did it have time to snow?
How do we get her back?
Olwen.
Also, I don't have a snowy map, but this is the non-snowy version of the definitely snowy map.
Torvald will
Could fill one white.
Torvald will start climbing up.
I'm gonna keep exploring like the footprints area and see if there's anything else or any clue of who might have taken it. Somebody dropped something.
Okay, generally make me an investigation check as you poke around. So the prints sort of lead loop, loop, and between these two trees, they just vanish.
13.
Beautiful drawing. 13 poking around the area. Okay, I'll get to what you find in a sec. What did everyone else say they were doing? Just
I'm
make
climbing
sure I'm
up the
not.
rope.
Okay, make me an athletics check with advantage just in case you fail.
I could still fail.
So I'm also, once they get within reach, I will help pull them out of the hole.
Okay, let's see what Thorvald gets if he gets that
Get
far.
ready to catch there.
Oh no.
I rolled a 7.
About halfway up, Thorvald, your grip slips and you go down towards the bottom. Adair?
I will
Anything you want to
raise
do?
my hand and say, restrain him, and cast my entangle again to see if I can catch him.
So Thorvald, this massive vines and roots whips out from the side of the tunnel and hugs you close in. You're caught in a nice little tree basket.
Is this how your mother used to hold you and rock you to bed?
Yes, that's exactly how, Torvald. Thank you. And he will just sound as unhappy as he possibly could saying this.
Well, thanks for catching me. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, my friend. Now climb up so I can leave too. I don't like being down here by myself.
I'm gonna continue to climb up.
I mean, you hear did something move back there? Maybe something scrabbled. A little rat run.
Old man, is that you?
Yeah.
It's old man.
Yeah. I'm lost down here. I'm a wall. There.
Does he really hear this? Because he will change his mind.
What happened to the old man? You don't know. Whether we'll see him again? You don't know. Fell through a dimensional rift and disappeared. Yeah, so Torvald, come on, let's see if you can make it to the top this time. Only got half the distance to go. Still got an advantage.
11.
Yeah, you make it. Just like hauling yourself up out into this wintry world above. And Adair, last but not least, make me that athletics.
I'm going to put out the
You
torch.
just do it.
I'm not muted, am I? Okay. I'm going to put out the torch. With whatever light there is available, I am going to make a note in Druidic for the old man. And then using both, I guess, what I can reach of my entanglement vines and the rope, I'm going to make my way up. And let's see if my dice hate me tonight. Oh, they don't hate me too much. That's going to be a 15.
Yeah, you make it to the top. And all of you are up now in this snow-covered clearing with around the ruins. Kressara. I can come back in a minute. I'm gonna say Kressara.
It's nothing.
Poking around, sort of
Typical.
looking around.
Pick on chest.
It's like, we'll come back to Kressara in a moment. As Kressara is poking around, having maybe found something, we don't know. What are the rest of you doing?
Once everybody's out of the hole, I'm untying the rope and stashing it.
Okay. Have the rope.
Eira is standing aside. She's just kind of looking around, but not too hard.
Looking around casually. Alright, Kressara. Sort of searching around, sort of around the footprints. As you at the point between the two trees, sort of dampened by snow, you find two things. First, you find one red ribbon. About this long, familiar looking hair ribbon. And second of all, as you stand between the two trees, you feel this chill run through you. This so happens the moment you stand sort of between these two trees, this sort of prickling on the back of your neck, and this strange sensation, like almost like, I guess the closest thing would be almost like a tingle, like static shock run through you, and it's gone. It was only as you stand between the two trees.
Aldis.
I finished coiling the rope and putting it in. Yeah, yes, Kressara.
Come here for a moment.
Okay.
Please.
All right. And I walk over.
All right, stepping over, you two, as you reach the two trees, you feel this kind of, it's definitely almost like an after image, an echo of something.
Does it
People of
feel
energy
familiar?
still in the air.
Does it feel familiar to me? I look in between the trees, see what's there. I look up into the branches.
They're two ordinary trees. You probably even walked through them before on your way into the ruins. And they're now, their branches are hanging with icicles now. And the closest sensation is almost like, Kressara, you'd recall this as well. It reminds you almost a little of somewhat of the sensation you felt passing through the mirror. Not as anyway as strong, but it was an after image of the echo you got when you passed through the mirror in Healer Sloane's house.
And there were
Something
two
recall.
sets of footprints, correct?
Yes.
I found her ribbon as well.
Keep that. I'm going to actually walk between the trees out the other side of them. What happens?
You just feel that tingle, but nothing happened. Whatever. It seems just an echo. Something.
It looks like she might have been taken back.
How do I get her back?
We'd have to go back. But
How do I get back?
I don't know how. Do I actually know how?
As in how to get into the Fae? I mean, you know there are various ways and various doorways, depending on what part of Fae you're trying to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Torvald hears this too, right?
Yeah, so Aldis, you know that, well, from your experience, that mirrors and reflective surfaces can be gateways. Especially that is what your guide told you, and there's ways to talk to her, and there's ways to cross into the Fae is mirrors. But you also know that, as in when you went into the mists by Lake Blad, that there's some parts of the world where the borders are thinner. Some places where the boundaries aren't as thick. And some of the stories you've heard might have mentioned that the forests do contain places like that. But you've never really ventured into the forests. But you would have heard stories, perhaps from your mother or from Healer Sloane, even about sort of the druids. Some of the druids treat with the Fae, and not all druids, but some druids definitely have have dealings. Yes, so Torvald, you hear this mentioned, the out loud bit. Obviously not Aldis's thoughts, unless you've stolen one of the potions.
No. Kressara, you know what they say. When you love something, you got to let it go. That's why Adair let the badger go, because he loved it so much. He wanted it to be happy. And if Orwin doesn't want to be with us, then we should let her go and do what she wants to do.
Did you look at the tracks? And I hold up the ribbon. She didn't go willingly.
Are you sure? I look at the tracks. Do they look like they were a struggle, or do they look like, she was just walking?
I mean, with Kressara sort of pointing it out, you can definitely see that it does seem more of a sort of struggle, like some of them are slightly dragged.
So like a parent grabbing the arm of a child and dragging it to where it's supposed to go.
Essentially, yes. Sort of someone larger or stronger pulling someone, like they were walking, but they were not, they were trying to like drag their heels.
With all this going on, Adair would like to look around the area to see if there's any sign of the dragon skin robe she was wearing. If you found the ribbon.
You know what? That was the thing I meant to mention earlier, but, as you look round, perhaps you went in a different direction to Kressara, and perhaps the DM didn't forget the hugely obvious cloak. Looking like to the left, it looks almost like snow for a second. But yeah, there is the white dragon skin cloak lying across one of the snowdrifts with a sign saying, "Please don't forget to mention me."
Adair will pick it up and bring it over to Kressara and hand it to her.
She's pissed. She's gonna take it gently from Adair and look at it for a minute, and then she's gonna whirl around back to the trees and just scream, "Bring her back, you damn coward!" Just at the top of her lungs.
As a wave of heat just 10-foot radius around her, just all
The snow is melted a little around her feet.
If you want to take her so bad, then come out and fight.
I'm pretty sure if
Who's
someone
she
took her,
shouting at?
they wouldn't come back and let you fight them.
Of course not, because they're scared.
I'm gonna talk.
Is she just shouting at a tree?
Well, sort of. So Olwyn was
Yeah.
technically
Heard that bit.
Yeah, so in between those trees right there, and yes,
Yeah.
I'll
She's just shouting at a tree. She's shouting at a tree.
Well, she's shouting at the person who.
Maybe we should just take this as a great opportunity and go, right, we're free of the problem of the weird ice witch. Let's not worry about that, right? Right?
I'll agree to that. How about we head back to the boat?
She sort of lowers her voice a little. Not, Kressara, if you listen, you probably still hear. She sort of, whispers to Aldis, seriously though, she's gone. Lawful doesn't like her. Adair doesn't like her. I think Ira well, actually, I'm not sure if Ira likes her or not. But
I'd say I'm indifferent.
Oh, she was whispering to Aldis.
I'd say
Yeah.
you're a little different.
She's listening very closely.
sorry, I didn't realize you were quite there.
It's okay. I just was interested in the conversation.
Stay out of this. And wait, she's right behind me, isn't she?
Yeah. But let's go.
So I was
let's
just
go
trying that
check
as a
on
hypothetical,
Sentry.
Kressara. I didn't actually mean we don't do anything, but
Let's go. And I'm going to just walk towards the ship. People can follow behind as they want.
Ira is following close behind.
you're sort of trooping down the path. You've not gone sort of more than 20 feet or so before you're back in an autumnal forest. The snow stops. The snow and the ice. It seems to just the area around the clearing and the ruins seems to have been affected. But stepping over a barrier and beyond that, you're back in the normal autumn forest. Even already you can see that the snow is starting to melt. Because it's warm enough that the snow that has just fallen is already starting to melt and the icicles the trees, and you hear as a particularly large icicle falls from a tree near Adair's head.
Do I need to
Yeah,
do a
the
dex
path-
save?
No. I'm just being mean. I don't know what you've done to it. The universe is for some reason not on your side today. As the path winds down, past back through the clearing where you had found the remains of the elven camp, back down on the shores of the lake, you can see your boat where you left it.
Awesome. Is Sindri sitting on the boat?
On the boat, staring into the water.
I'm going
Watching
to
something very intently.
I'm going to mentally tell Sindri we're back.
Shh! It's a fish. It's a fish. I've almost got it. Do not make any noise.
I'll stop moving.
You see Sindri's paw lash out of the water and hear it. Oh, that thing got away. What was that? Sorry. You have something important to tell me.
Yeah, we're back.
We have fish.
I will get you fish right now.
Is she saying that out loud?
No, that was mentally.
Okay.
I'm also going to. We fought a couple of things, and I'm going to mentally flash her a picture of the snake thingy and the brain crawling out of the bucket of stale water.
Oh, did you bring me one? They look tasty.
No, I blew them up.
What a waste.
Did Torvald see that Sindri was trying to catch a fish?
Yes.
Okay. Torvald's gonna walk over to the water and just like shock it.
What the? A fish bobs to the top.
And, he'll pick it up and hand it over towards her.
Very daintily, Sindri starts sort of picking at the fish. Sort of in Torvald's direction, in the manner of, definitely a real cat.
Definitely. Torvald will just kind of nod at Sindri and then get on the ship.
All right. I'm watching him do that because I wasn't even on the ship yet. I'll get back up on the boat.
Okay, so you make your way. Is everyone heading back up onto the boat?
Kressara's still between the two trees.
Oh, Kressara's still back up at the clearing. Has everyone else just left Kressara behind?
That's who left her there.
Okay, so Kressara, you're still back in this snowy clearing. We said the snow is starting to melt. The icicles dripping from the trees.
She just really doesn't like her character and wants to re-roll.
She'll take the ribbon and she ties it around her maul and knots it on. She's still standing there hoping that somebody will say something.
Please
She
tell me
still
you tied it in a
remembers the
bow.
Make me a perception check as you're doing this.
Please tell me you tied it in a bow around your maul.
I did.
Okay.
It can be a bow.
We need to fix your character art right now.
I'm gonna.
That's a very anime thing to do.
It'll be a huge bow.
Somehow transformed it into a
That's a 10. I'm
raging. Ha!
all seems normal in this clearing. As you look around, as I said, that the ice is melting now, and birds singing in the trees as the winter forest is being sort of taken back by autumn again. There's no sign of Olwen
coward.
or whoever or whatever took her
Oh well. Poor Faye ice demon.
Oh, she's still out there somewhere.
Oh yeah, this is the end. She's just gonna let out a roar of just anger and slowly start to walk towards the ship. But she's keeping an eye out. She's hoping she sees the one Fae that warned her about her sister. Come on, somebody help me out.
It'll be all right, Kressara. You've got nothing to
As-
worry about.
As Kressara heads back down the path, one suspicious-looking bird out of Kressara's sight flits off into the trees.
You better find her, bird. Bring her back.
And
We
Kressara,
have a thing.
you see the others sort of getting on the boat. Probably go, wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, she'll get on the ship now. But she goes and stands off in the corner. She won't look at or acknowledge anyone except Amalia. She goes and sulks like a 2-year-old. she's pissed. She's mad.
So, with Alwyn temporarily or permanently absent from your crew, you're back on the boat. It's probably afternoon by this point. Hang on. It was afternoon. Wait, it was about 1 o'clock, wasn't it, when we arrived?
We cast about
It's-
7 identify rituals, so it's at least an hour and 10 minutes.
Only 3.
It's getting into evening at this point. As it's getting into evening this point as you're back on the boat. The question is, where are you headed? You know?
Well, it's headed to bed.
I mean, you could spend a few more hours sort of chilling around before you take a long rest if you don't have anything else to do that day. But it's as yet it's too early to gain the benefits of a long rest.
I'm gonna use
Another like
a net and fish.
5 hours or so before.
I'm using one of Amalia's nets to fish.
Okay, yeah, you can get some lake fish in. Maybe I think that falls under survival as well, doesn't it? Fishing, I think survival's just the useless until you go out and need to get your lunch, Sigel.
Natural 20 plus 4.
Aldis is good at fishing,
Nice.
and
This time.
Sindri has a new favourite crew member. As the
Aww.
cat sort of rubs up against your legs and goes. "Meow." I mean, she was her favourite to start with. I mean, it is kind of cheating. It's her familiar.
Now she actually likes her, right?
Like, I mean, likes is perhaps a generous term. It's a cat.
No, cats are
Appreciate.
really nice. I will, skin
This is a
them,
demon cat.
and I'll give her a couple of fish without the skin on, so it's easier for her to eat. And then I'll cook up the rest. Try to dry some out.
Yeah.
What is Ira doing? That is what Adair would like to know.
Ira is examining the boat. She's just kind of looking around, taking stock, making sure everything's how she remembered it to be.
If she gets within 10 feet of the chair, Adair will go sit down in it and just kind of stretch out like he's relaxing.
Sure. So that I'm sure that'll most definitely happen. In which case, Ira will. Oh, it's a nice chair.
Quite comfortable, good to rest in.
Is it really?
It's not very comfortable.
Because if I remember correctly, it's made of wood, and that's it.
Well, I'm one who sleeps in trees.
That's very fair.
Where's your flowing cloak that you bought? You seemed quite proud of it.
Yes. It was very nice, but I've been feeling very clunky recently, very very loud. So I was thinking of taking off the whole armor and shield and everything, and trying to be more stealthy going forward.
Oh, but I thought you really liked that armor that was given to you by Aldis.
Yeah. No,
I hear my name and I look up and look around. I don't say anything.
It was nice armor, and I do appreciate the gift from Aldis, but yes, I think I think I'd like to just see what I can do without it for now. I'll put it back on and I'll keep it safe. But I don't know. I've always been kind of like the loud, silly one. I think it's worth trying to be the quiet, only kind of silly one.
Okay, interesting. Oh, maybe you should get some rest. You look so tired.
I am awfully tired, thank you.
I am paying attention since I've heard my name,
Yeah.
and I make eye contact with Adair.
Eyebrow.
And Adair looks at you with this look like it's a look between fascination and trepidation as he kind of, looks back between Eira and her. And he'll shake his head and then just lean back and relax.
Meanwhile, Kressara, Amalia makes her way over to you and sits down beside you. Look, I'm sorry about what I said. I don't actually wish she was dead or anything, and if you want to get her back, I will help you. Look. I stand by the fact that your decision to adopt a strange ice fairy you found in a mirror as perhaps top 3 stupid Kressara decisions. But I'm your sister, and I will support you in your stupid Kressara decisions. And it was clear she meant a lot. She means a lot to you. And if some other strange ice fairy monster has I can't remember what your working theory was, but has taken her, I'll help you. It doesn't mean I like her, doesn't mean I have to trust her, but you're my sister and I'll help you. Stop sulking.
She'll just look at her. You would actually do that for me.
You've done a lot for me, and I know I complain about it a lot, but I honestly, if we hadn't left Dambala, I don't know what would have happened.
I don't either.
And Isfjell's my home now. It's my home. And
I know it's never been your favorite, but the people here do love you. Including me.
well, you have to. You're my sister. It's obligated.
It is. It's decided from birth. She's not bad. She's not evil. She's the Fae. It probably wasn't the smartest thing, but don't you remember how it felt when everything first happened? She looks like what we felt. I only wanted to try to alleviate some of that. She didn't want to go back to wherever this place is that this thing has taken her.
as I said, I'm not promising to like her or trust her. Like, she's up to something. And I
Perhaps.
don't like how she's latched onto your affections in the same way, but also, as I said, I'll help you. I don't know how I can help, because honestly, other than going to the Fae and asking every other Fae we come across, like, have you seen someone called Olwyn? Fae is not really my area of expertise.
When you were
No.
taken, Aldis decided to follow the pretty pony, walking beside a lake. And we wound up at a court with all these fairies. Torvald and Ira did some amazing, supernatural, insane, American Idol winning dance that they did that impressed the Fae King. But I also told him a story of you because of the visions Adair had seen. And I told him them in the form of a story. He must have remembered because when they came and took you, he sent one of them to warn me. That's how we knew to come looking and to try to find you.
Then
I can
maybe,
only hope he'll do it again.
yeah, maybe they'll help us this time. I don't know how you, like, send up a flare to the Fae.
If they didn't hear me yelling, then I don't know.
Not everything can be solved by yelling. Or hitting things with a maul. I know that might be... No, I'm not going to start that argument again. Everything in life can be solved by yelling, hitting things with a maul. It's okay, Kressara. If you a pat on the shoulder, that will solve everything.
As long as we're sisters and we're a team, we can solve anything.
Yes.
We'll solve this. You don't have to like her, but she did promise to not lie. She was just scared because these things are trying to take her back.
Well, we solve that problem. We solve whatever else is going on, and also we finish Ira's scavenger hunt.
Yes. And I'll switch to primordial. I don't... Have you noticed her acting different?
She sounds a bit odd. I don't know. Honestly, I'd not really spoken to Ira much, and I find she's less of a chatterbox.
I've noticed. Keep an eye on her. Just the same. Just
Yeah, I'll
be aware.
I will. People, yeah, sometimes don't always have a tendency to underestimate me sometimes. So maybe
I could never imagine why. I think it's the hair color. I told you should have chosen purple and not blue. She wouldn't
I
listen
like
to
blue. I like blue. I'm sticking with blue. Blue is my favorite.
me. Fine. You can have all the blue hair dye. I'll take all the purple.
Have we got any more hair dye? Like, did you pack hair dye?
Of course. This isn't just. I'm not going to lose this, but we're going to need. Oh, we're going to need to send some sort of letter or something and get another shipment in. I'm running low.
So, I guess I say actually perhaps that last bit they slipped out of Primordial, and Torvald and Adair, you confirm that yes, they're talking about hair. That is clearly what they talk about when you're not listening.
Hair talk confirmed.
And
So-
she'll lean over and hug Malia.
She'll give you a hug back quietly.
Little hearts
I
come up
love
in
you,
the air.
sister.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass out dinner.
Torvald heard the whole bit about the armor, right?
I was going to
Yeah.
ask that, yeah. And
I mean, it's not a very big boat.
Okay.
where did Ira go once she said she was stepping away and going to rest? How far away did she step on the boat? I mean, it's not a huge boat, but it's
Not a very big boat. So if
Yeah,
she's
she's
still on the boat, then she's definitely still in earshot.
Yeah, she was wandering
Yeah.
around, and she's been kind of listening to everyone passively.
I think we confirmed the boat's only it's about 45 feet long. It's a fairly big boat, but not huge. And that's assuming that I've, judged feet correctly. You probably tell me your boat is the size of a mountain.
Totally is.
Yeah, so she probably heard like bits and pieces, but I don't think she heard the whole thing.
me.
But she can piece
Um,
it together.
Yeah, so you're sitting down, you've got a nice fish dinner on the shores of this lake. The sun's starting to go down in the distance. In the west. That's where the sun goes down. In the direction of where you know the ruins of Lemadorai to be. You can just make out as the sun goes down distant over the lake, perhaps a hint of like cracked and ruined tower in that direction.
That tower looks beautiful.
Aye, it does.
Where are we headed next?
I don't think we had a place we were going in particular.
Do we want to investigate those ruins?
Yeah. Does the tower look familiar to Adair?
You are
and
attacked
Aldis?
by a rabid monster.
That was terrifying.
All right. Really though, does the tower look familiar to Aldis and Adair from the dream?
I don't recall there being a tower in there.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's just me.
I don't recall one either, but
Never do I.
being from the area right near here
Yes,
isn't
yes.
familiar to me.
You know that tower is the highest point of the ruins of Lemadorai. This
Okay.
vast, sprawling, elvish ruin that lies on the opposite side of the lake. It's a place that the druids tend to avoid.
Mhm.
Like, venture into it, but it's not really a place that druids tend to hang around or camp or do much. Like, there's not many of their sort of sacred sites and circles. There's none of those within this ruined city itself or within its close vicinity. The nearest one probably being the one on the far side of the lake. Yeah, it's there's things that live there that do have a tendency to eat the unwary traveller.
Adair is not going to say anything. He's just kind of watching what's going on and keeping an eye on Ira and guarding the chair.
I was just hanging out. I was just talking about where we're going next.
The cat comes up, Ira, and nuzzles at your hand. Sindri does.
Ira will pet her cautiously.
Cat gives a
Yeah.
sniff and then stalks back to its fish.
I'm going to reach out mentally to Sindri. Does she seem different to you?
Y'all try to keep a lot of secrets, huh?
Smells weird. Not sure what.
She said I was the one who gave her the armor. I don't know. There's something different.
I don't know. It's been a long day. I've worked really hard guarding your boat.
And you've
I'm
got
gonna
lots
go and
of
have a
fish.
nap.
Go, yes, have a nap.
Look, I did an excellent job. No one stole your boat. I think full marks to Sindri.
And I will scratch Sindri behind the ears, like proper scratches.
Very contented cat. There's the sun sets, and night falls. A mist is rising from the surface of the lake as the night falls. And just for the sake of this, are you keeping some form of watch? And if so, what order will this watch take? As we
So Torvald will take first watch. Then probably Aldis, Adair, and Kressara.
okay.
I can take watch during the darkest point of the night.
Oh yeah, actually Adair first probably.
You didn't say my name.
Yep.
It's Torvald,
Accurate.
Torvald, Aldis, and then Kressara.
Ira, why
I
don't you keep watch with me? That way I can do some of my meditation I need to do.
Sure. Sounds good.
He says
Sounds
convincingly.
legit. So, as the sun sets and as mist rises from the lake, and as darkness falls over Pendle Lake, and our 6 crew members plus a cat. I think this is a good point to bring the session to an end, and I will keep note of that order of watch for next time. So don't roll your long rests yet, but you all have had a short rest at this point.
Mhm.
So anyone who gets short rest things back or any of that thing, you can do that whenever you wish. Yes.
Sounds
Not
good to
quite
me.
made it to the long rest necessarily just yet. We'll find out. We'll find out next week.
You get half
Whether
of
I-
your hit die back, correct? When you
On a long rest,
rest?
yes, you get half of them back on a long rest.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to spend
Half
any
of your
hit
total.
off of your total, yes.
Okay. Does it round up or down?
I'd say probably round down, but I can check that. We can check that. I tend to round most things down.
Because I have 5 hit die, so I don't know if I should roll 2 or 3. That was my question.
I'll leave that decision up to you. You can you can check the rules. But yes, we'll find out next week as the adventures of definitely the same heroes we started out with continues. And can I just say thank you to Moira for putting up with my
I'm doing my darndest.
my suggestions. So I have an idea.
It's been interesting, that's for sure.
So next week, will Olwen be rescued? Will they go visit some ruins? Will they get eaten by nasty forest monsters? And will they fix the definitely not broken, totally okay Ira?
Nice.
Find
Can
out
be fixed.
on
Can be fixed.
Isfjell. And if you got some more time, if you stick around, in about an hour and a little bit, there's some weird people over at Party Foul who are doing weird things. I have no idea what's going on at Party Foul at the moment, but
So
weird
much.
things.
So much.
Oh yeah, that's happening on Mindari's channel.
Yes, Mindari's channel. And if you are interested in catching up on any of the previous Isfjell adventures, we have a YouTube, and I still have not fixed the summon YouTube command. There is one. I just don't know what it is. So if anyone can
No idea.
suss that out. They win my undying favor. But I'll post.
Nope, that didn't work.
Yep.
Sorry.
Do you have
The
the,
obvious
do you have the
fail.
link handy, and we can just post it in the chat?
I
or-
can
That's what I was doing.
Okay.
The link.
I was just gonna post the link. That would.
Oh,
And I won't go fetch it.
We'll all do it at the same time.
Oh no! A moderator deleted my message.
Oh, nope, that wasn't a moderator.
Links are spoopy.
Yeah.
Thanks, a spooky. Okay.
I think what we should do is add
It
it.
fell into the search in YouTube. It,
Yeah.
it is in the yeah.
I think
It
what we
is.
should.
There is a command. I just don't know what it is.
Hold on.
I have it
technically.
after the stream goes off.
There we go.
I have it transition to the Isfjell logo that you did. We just need to add that to the bottom of that too. I think so.
All right,
We'll do
I
that in the
was
future.
able to
Thank you.
copy that link in for you guys since I am a mod on the stream.
Ooh.
So
Yay.
Yeah. Yay! Thank you. And as I said, there is a command, and I will. I said this last week, but next week I will find out what it is. So yeah, so last week's episode will go up in just a moment, having passed this week, and then this one will be up next week. So it goes. With some time deviances for whether we get around to
don't
doing stuff.
forget, starting tonight for the US or tomorrow morning, it's daylight savings time. So for anybody who's doing D&D games or any other sort of game internationally, like we are, keep the time change in mind.
Oh, there's a
Yes,
time change.
there's-
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
so starting from next week, Isfjell will be at 7. No, hang on. It's currently 7 p.m. GMT. Yes.
Yes.
Starting from next week, it will be 6 p.m. GMT.
Yes, but it'll be technically the same time for anybody in the United States.
Yeah, it's 2 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT, and I'll be updating that on details. For all of those using Universal Time, it is at 6 p.m.
And if you're unclear about it, just hit us up in Discord and we'll let you know.
Essentially, Americans have done weird things to their clocks. We have to cope with it.
And then, in addition to Party Foul on Monday night on twitch.tv/concentration check, I'm in a game called Garden of Eden, which is a sci-fi themed. It's 5e, but it's sci-fi skinned. It's a lot of fun. And then we also have Black Death, which is on Tuesday, and that is run by the wonderful Adair. And also our Aldis and Kressara are both in it. So it's like half of our crew is in Black Death. That's Chronicles of Darkness.
I'm going to make it there eventually.
Yes,
Okay.
it's Chronicles of Darkness, World of Darkness. So it is not D&D. It's
Lots
got
of
different
darkness.
rules, and it's actually pretty dark, and viewer discretion is
Is
advised.
It
strongly.
is D&D. It's darkness and darkness. That's
Darkness and death. Yes.
darkness and darkness. 3Ds. Yeah.
Death,
Darkness,
disease,
darkness, and
darkness,
death.
despair.
Disease, despair. Yeah, just all the Ds really. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like a D8 almost. You know.
Well, you need to make it 10 to make it work.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's a D10.
It's a
I
I
see
can
what
tell
you
you,
did.
as someone who's not in it, it's very good. Check it out. Like,
Yeah. And that's right here on Lawful Stupid.
and other than that, we have a Discord. I think someone's posted a link.
Yes.
Come hang out in the Discord if you like, and if not, we'll see you next week. Thank you for everyone who watched. Thank you for everyone who followed, and thank you for my wonderful players.
Of course.
And yeah, we'll see you.